some educational words in the Visayan language of the Philippines and Cebuano language of the Philippines. I'm going to give you the interpretation from English to Visayan and English to Cebuano for a few choice words that are used here in the Philippines often. And one of the most common words used in the Philippines, that is the most notable words or word in the Philippines, is their word in Visaya for liar. And it actually took me months to remember this word. I don't know why. I learned several hundred words in Polish in a short period of time when I had Polish carpenters and laborers working for me. But this word in Visaya that means liar was one of the hardest words I ever remembered. I can remember whole word phrases like Nagpoyoko sa Mindanao, Zamboanga, Michael, and which means I live in Zamboanga. I was born and raised in the Philippines in Zamboanga. I remembered that phrase instantly. But the word that represents the word liar or was beyond my comprehension. So every day when I lived at the Golden Prince Hotel from January 10th or 11th to like maybe the beginning of March, about 60 something days I lived there. Every day the waiters would come by and tell me the word and ask me to repeat it, and I couldn't repeat it. I don't know why. But eventually I learned the word, and the word is bakakun ka. Bakakun ka. Simple as that. Now, why are we defining the word liar in Visayan today? Well, that's because the Great Flying Circus posted a video of a long gone channel, a guy that used to make videos on YouTube and lie, or bakakun ka, about everything that came out of his mouth was bakakun ka. Everything that came out of his mouth, sometimes for hours on end. Now, what we're going to do today, now this is a word that doesn't exist because this man has no understanding of the English language. He brutalizes the English language on a moment-to-moment basis. He brutalized the English language in his live streams and his uploads. For instance, we'll go through some of the words that he brutalizes in this video. Like the word, he has a word he calls rebuttaling. There is no such word as rebuttaling. You either rebut a statement or the statement is rebutted, but no such word as rebuttaling. But he created this word in his mind and used it for years because in his mind is where all of this stuff takes place, not in the outside world. So we're going to talk about 103 provable fairy tales by a red-headed fairy tale maker in this one video about the Great Warren H. The Great Warren H. Let's call him the Great Warren H. to move past YouTube's algorithms. And how this red-headed fairy tale maker depicted the Great Warren H. and the Island Guy and a story in this 31-minute video that I'm going to put on the screen, word for word. We're going to go through 103 red-headed fairy tales. That's right, 103 red-headed fairy tales. Now, There are more, but those are more difficult to prove. Now, I'm not going to give you an example for every red-headed fairy tale, but I will give you factual information of what is true and what isn't true on several of the more pertinent facts, but I will call out all 103 red-headed fairy tales. So, to give you an introduction to this blogger, well, let us say that he believed he was an important factor in the Philippines vlogging genre, which basically is not true. But also, he came on a daily basis for 6 years, and somehow, in some way or some form, brutalized a person's actual persona or their personality or their wife or their girlfriend or their daughter or their friends or their channel. He brutalized them in a way to destroy whatever they built up in regards to a channel or friendships, especially, more importantly, if a person was more successful than he in super chat or view counts or having friends. He brutalized them to put them down. And then he has what he calls operatives that go to their channel, push the thumbs down button, and even go so far where last week either he, because he said he was going to do this, or one of his operatives went so far as to call up the prawn farm where I blog from once a week and have my brunch or buffet lunch, and I give them excellent ratings because their food is superb and their prices are superb and the location is superb. He called up the prawn farm and complained as a so-called guest that I was harassing the patrons. And then there was a guy on the great Meet Barry J's channel that said, wait till you go to the prawn farm. You have a surprise coming to you. You have a surprise. You're going to get kicked out of the prawn farm. And I said, I don't think so, but, you know, if it happens, it happens. It's okay for me. It's not like the only place in the mall I can have breakfast. So when this is just one example of what he did to me personally. Forget about what he did years ago to myself and my ex-girlfriend Daisy May. Forget about that. He contacted my friends on Facebook. But this is what he personally asked someone to do or did himself. Call up the prawn farm and complain that I was harassing the guests. So when I got to the prawn farm in the morning, I got there extra early. Normally I don't go there till 9:30. And then I sit down, and what I do is I do my bills. I put all my bills for the week in one pile in my bag, and then I go through the bills and I write down the totals and what they're for, because the ink on the paper disappears after a few days. So I don't care. I can't use it for taxes. I just like to keep track of what I spent for the hotel and what I spend personally in the Philippines for myself and foods. So I got there a half hour early, sat down, and lo and behold, the manager of the prawn farm sits down. I won't tell you whether it was a man or a woman, and sits down and said, "Good morning, Michael. First of all, let me start off by saying thank you for making the free advertising videos for our restaurant." So it was immediately known that they were not coming in on a negative tone. And I said, "You're welcome." And I said, "How can I help you?" I know what they're going. I know where they're going. Well, we recently received a notice that you were harassing the guests. And I said, "Okay, stop. Okay, how did this notice appear? Did it appear in email, telephone, or in person?" Well, it was a telephone call. I said, well, how could you take that seriously? Well, we got a phone call. I said, yeah, but if I was harassing the guests, don't you think the wait staff would have noticed? Somebody would have noticed here, right? Or they would have went to the manager here. Why would they wait to go someplace else? Where did the phone call come from? She couldn't say. I just said she. She couldn't say. Okay, so we blew that part of the equation out of the water. And she didn't care. She goes, we're not concerned about that. We've already interviewed some of the staff, and they said there's no problem with you here. We just want to let you know that someone did that. So I explained to her that why that person did that, or why one of his friends did that. So this is the kind of mentality that this guy has. He goes around trying to destroy people's reputation, and because he does this, on November 13th of 2021, his not one, but 2 YouTube channels were removed for hate speech. 2. And his Facebook page was removed for hate speech. Now, I have the documentation of the hate speech in my possession in a file, what we call a dossier on this man. We keep tracks of everything he says in this file. He humiliates people on Facebook. He humiliates people where he is now in Hawaii. He was thrown off of a website in Hawaii in 2006 with the threat of being prosecuted if he came back on the site in any way, shape, or form. So he's been thrown off 1 YouTube platform this week, 2 YouTube platforms this week, 1 Facebook platform, gone. Everything he ever posted on Facebook on that channel is gone. He's had several other channels taken down, all for the same reason, hate speech. No other reason. No copyright strikes, nothing like that. So this man has a history of creating negative speech on YouTube. Now, we're going to get into the meat of this video in a moment. I just want to check the comments. Now, remember, this channel, my channel, is no longer going to acknowledge whoever's on my channel unless you are a member of one of my communities: Patreon, Super Chat, Super Stickers, PayPal, that kind of thing. I just won't take the time to acknowledge anybody's comments anymore. I don't care who you are. I really don't care. So please don't comment. Either watch and learn when I'm working, watch and listen when I'm working, or watch and understand that I don't care what you have to say. I provide you with hours and hours and hours and hours of entertainment every day and every week and every month. And if you can't compensate me in some small way, that's okay. But that's what the Super Chat button is for. That's what the Super Stickers are for. That's what Patreon is for. And by the way, I got a new Patreon member yesterday for quite a bit of money, actually. And I thank that person. I haven't gotten a chance to get back to you in email format, but if you're watching, thank you. So what he does is he brutalizes the person's persona or personality, and then he makes it believable. He is a perfectly believable liar. Bakakun ka man. So let us talk about the video. That before I go through, I'm going to take the video, I'm going to put the video on the screen, I'm going to turn the camera around, and you're going to listen to the words that come out of this Bakakun ka man's mouth, aka the red-headed fairy tale man. And I will tell you whether or not what he said was true, untrue. I don't know the difference if it's true or not. And total bologna and cheese on a white bread with mustard. Okay, this guy has a propensity to lie about everything. How do you fit 103 fairy tales, red-headed fairy tales, in one 31-minute video? Almost impossible. But he's done so. And he even throws in a couple of actual facts, and I'll tell you which ones are factual. But he has made some of the most egregious bakakunka lies that anybody's ever heard on YouTube. And now, this information that I'm going to post in rebuttal, as a rebuttal for his false statements on his video, he can't even do anything about it because his channel is gone. So this information, these videos are free now to the public because he has no copyright claims to the videos. Not that as a rule you can rebuttal someone's video by talking about the statements in a video, but now everybody is free to use his worthless videos, of which there are probably 4,000, and all of them were put up and taken down and put up and taken down and hidden and not hidden, put on other channels, put on backup channels, to hide his actual. This is what he does to hide his actual who is making the video. He hides his face because we have laws in the Philippines that if you don't have a face in the video, you can't be prosecuted by the NBI. But cybercrimes can prosecute you. He even goes so far as to be boldened to say people are afraid to use their own name on their channel, and yet he's afraid to use his face. He's a hypocrite, red-headed fairy tale maker. Fairy being the operative word in that sentence. Fairy tale maker, I mean, being the operative word. So let's go to my channel, and then let's see if there are. Now, yesterday, if you remember, listen, I am so over people coming to my channel and asking me questions. I don't know who you are, and I personally don't care. But don't come to my channel and ask me questions. If you have a question, that's what the Super Chat button is for. If you want to know the answer to something, that's what the Super Chat button is for. If you want a piece of information, that's what the Super Chat button is for. If you want me to explain how to do a certain thing in construction, that's what the Super Chat button is for. Anything short of that. If I see a fake name, like that guy Final Approach yesterday, now I've acknowledged him as a pilot because of the word Final Approach, the name of his title. For weeks, I've acknowledged his comments and talked about him being a pilot and this, that, and the other thing. Yesterday, I said to myself when I woke up, no more of this crap with these fake channels. I said to Final Approach, you have 30 seconds. Now you can throw questions like this at me. Not now, you can't, because you have to pay for those questions, but in Super Chat or Super Stickers. But you can ask me questions about basic flight instrumentation or basic flight principles and the axis of flight, the different axes of flight. But the two questions I threw at Final Approach, nobody can become a pilot. Nobody ever in the world can get a pilot's license without knowing the two most basic questions that I asked Final Approach. And I gave him 30 seconds to answer. I gave him 45 seconds to answer, and he didn't answer the questions. So he's not a pilot. He's pretending to be somebody else, and yet, because he knows I'm an A&P jet mechanic and private pilot, he knows that. He went on my channel as a Final Approach, which would encompass being a pilot of whatever nature. Okay, so I asked him the two most basic tenets of flight. What is the name of the apparatus that measures air speed? Not ground speed, not relative to ground speed, not relative to air and ground speed combined. Air speed. What is the air speed indicating apparatus? It's the most basic. Nobody can become a pilot without knowing the answer to that question, and he couldn't answer. Then, in almost every new aircraft, there's a CSD installed. He didn't know what a CSD was. And I'm not going to tell you, but a CSD is part of the airplane. Okay? You have to know. You cannot become a pilot. If you have a plane that doesn't have a CSD in it and you're a pilot, you sure do wish you did have a CSD in it. You don't need one to fly a plane. You don't have to have one, but it sure does make straight and level flight a lot better, a lot easier. Okay, so he couldn't answer that. So he comes on my channel as a fake name. We're done with the fake names. We're done with the fake channels. We're done with the fake people on YouTube. There won't be any more. A few people might slide by. Concerned Expat gave me some information. He's a mechanic. He's proven he's a mechanic. Mickey Mason is also mechanically inclined and gave me information. Those two guys I would let slide by. My personal friends who I know, I'd let slide by with questions. I don't expect super chat or super stickers from them, but everybody else, you can sit there and watch. I entertain you for free, fine. You want something from me, pay for it. Simple. YouTube agrees with me. That's why they made super stickers, super chat. That's why they allow PayPal buttons to be put on your page. That's why they allow Patreon buttons to be put on your homepage. They want you to make money, so they make money. That's what YouTube is about, making money. And they make money when you super chat me. And I make money when you super chat me. YouTube doesn't make any money if I sit here and answer questions all day. It costs them big money to put me on a server for 4 or 5 hours a day. YouTube wants you to give me money. YouTube needs you to give me money. Okay, so you can either give me money or watch and stop asking me questions. Now, let's go to the heart of the matter. This man is lying mostly about the Great Warren H. and what happened with a case that he built up based on the Great Warren H. and something that Warren H. did indeed do. There is no doubt that Warren H. did a lot of what this red-headed fairy says Warren H. did. A lot of it is true, but a lot of it is not true. So I'm going to put this video up on the page as soon as I go to see if any of my friends are here, because we have friends here. Okay, so nobody is actually here yet, and that's good. You guys are listening. My friends are my friends. I know who they are. Now, except one. One has been dropping the ball lately. I think he knows who he is, but I don't really care about that, because for a long time he was a good friend, and I'll forgive him his obstinance. Let's call it obstinance. So let's go here. Let's go to this video that the great Flying Circus. I get Flying Circus mixed up with DQ Labs. So let's open this up in its full. We're going to start right from the beginning. I'm going to let the video play, and I'm going to tell you if what is said is a lie, or the truth, or unknown truth, unknown lie. Okay? So here is the video. The name of the video is, I got to get the screen set up. The name of the video is The Real Warren Story. So first of all, that's a lie. That's Bakakun Ka. That's Bakakun Ka. That's Bakakun Ka number one. The Real Warren Story is Bakakun Ka. So that's one lie. Let's start the video. Not the tape. Let's start the video. That's one lie. And here
anyway, this is going to be kind of a shocking, and maybe not very shocking, the truth about Warren H.
Oh, we got to stop
It's
it.
a story that has to be
We got to stop it. He just said This is the truth about Warren H. That's a lie. That's lie number 2. Bakakun Ka number 2. It's not the true story about Warren H. Let's move on.
Old, and it will be right now. Well, we're out here with...
That's another lie. He said that the story must be told, and it will be right now. And that's a lie. So that's lie number 3. And then Bantallion Brawler comes on and says there is no real Warren H. because Warren H. is a fictitious character in YouTube land. So that's another lie. Bakakun Ka number 3 and Bakakun Ka number 4. Let's play that again because I was talking. Let's go back over here.
And it will be right.
right.
Maybe not very shocking. The truth about Warren H. is a story that has to be told.
No, it doesn't have to be told, you fool. You had to tell this story. Lie Bakakun number 5. You had to tell this story to make yourself look like some kind of superhero on YouTube. You are the person that believed it had to be told. And you made everything up in the story. Moving on, lie number 5 has been covered.
And it will be right now.
No, it won't be. Lie number 6. It won't be told. The truth will not be told because you are Bakakun Ka. You are the red-headed fairy tale maker.
Well, we're out here with Rowdy.
That's true. He's with a dog. He said something true. After 21 seconds, 5 lies, he said something true. Amazing.
Taking a little walk here.
Taking a little walk. By the time he's done taking this little half-hour walk, it sounded like he was ready to stroke out. That's the kind of shape this guy is in. Moving on.
Warren, in the past, took every...
Look at his finger over the camera lens. This man, the Bakakun Ka man, says he's a photographer. 90% of his videos has his hand or his finger over the lens because the guy can't do video or take pictures. He's incompetent as he is a liar. Do I think that Warren H... Hold on a minute.
Everybody's hearts by making his claims that he had...
Do I think that Warren H. is alive? Yeah, I believe he's alive. Why would he be dead? I see him all over the internet. He's alive. If his name is Warren H., he's alive. He has a couple of different accounts. I've seen him multiple times. He even gives people information about me, false information about me. Some of it's true, but you can't disseminate the truth from the falsehoods. But this man, the Bakakun Ka fairy tale maker, he believes everything that everybody tells him because he's a fool. Moving on.
Cancer.
Now, social distance. See, now this could be Warren H. I am sorry he lied to you so long. Warren H. has over 63 accounts. 63 accounts Warren H. had when I knew him and was on Skype with him. The man has 7 or 8 different personalities. He's a genius when it comes to remembering certain things and rebuttaling stuff, but he's a liar. He lied about everything to me. And this guy in this channel, he makes Warren H. sound like the good guy and me being the bad guy, and we'll get to that in a minute. It was Warren H.'s idea to buy an interest in my hotel. And this guy, the Bakakun Ka man, the red-headed fairy tale maker, said it was me begging Warren. Warren wanted to be living in the Philippines, wanted to live near the ocean, asked me to buy into the second floor of my hotel project. He asked me. It's not the other way around. This guy here, he lies about everything. So we're up to lie number 5, outright lie number 5. Let's move on. Good morning, Canoe in the Philippines. Thank you for stopping by. Another thing, Canoe in the Philippines gave me permission last week to talk about this. This piece of work in this video talking, he contacted Canoe in the Philippines' wife, telling Canoe's wife that Canoe was giving she money, large amounts of money every month, and caused the marriage to break up. And he does this to everybody. He has to destroy other people's lives to feel worthy of breathing oxygen. This man is the lowest piece of garbage that ever disgraced YouTube. Moving on, lie number 5.
And Warren was the sweetheart of the rodeo, pretty much.
That's true.
On YouTube. And you could never say anything bad about Warren or else.
That's true, too, until I disgraced Warren as a liar. Until I, Michael FAZIO, brought out the fact that Warren H. was a total fraud. And then what did I get for it? I got ridiculed all over YouTube, which I don't care about. But I got ridiculed by every single blogger on YouTube because I went against Warren H. when Warren H. was really the perpetrator of thousands upon thousands upon thousands of lies, deceits, and half-truth. Warren said he had a wife and 3 children that died in a fiery car crash. That was a lie. Who lies about that kind of crap? Warren said he was a police officer. No proof of such. Warren said he had a retirement party, a party after he got out of the hospital for 4th stage cancer with 60 people there, and he was going to send me pictures of that. He lied about that. He never sent me a single picture. Warren said he had students that he taught guitar lessons to, and I would hear a knock on the door, and he would say, "It's my student." I'd say, "Let me see your student." He goes, "No, I can't do that." And he would hang up. Warren said he got crushed by a car between the car and a wall, and his leg was split open. He wouldn't show me the injury. Warren lied about so many things, and when I exposed him for being a liar, I was the one that was ridiculed. So this guy here is going to have some truth in this video, but mostly he's a liar, a bakakun comment, the red-headed fairy tale maker.
You would be put in a bad light yourself. This went on for quite a while. Warren, as it is in modern day, has turned out being one of the biggest trolls actually on YouTube in the Philippines.
That's true. Actually, Warren H., the great Warren H., is a bigger liar and deceiver than this red-headed fairy tale maker. Because I introduced him to dozens of people that became his personal friends. And then he lied to his personal friends. I had him and multiple people talking on Skype and emailing and conversations on the telephone, and Warren was lying the whole time. Lying. So in fact, we know this guy, the red-headed fairy tale maker, we know he's a liar. We know that for a fact. But Warren we believe. So Warren is the greatest troll that ever lived in the YouTube genre.
Philippines blogging community. Now, I'm making this video because I think finally the truth has to be told.
Okay, that's a lie number 7. Lie number 6, because he's saying the truth has to be told, and now from this point on, there are 96 more lies, outright blatant lies that I'll point out. It's not the truth has to be told, it's the red-headed fairy tale maker's version of the truth. It's his...
About this guy.
It's his version of the truth. It's his version of the story, which is everything that he's ever done. Everything he's ever done. He's never, ever, ever posted a video that's 100% true. Never. Everything has falsehoods, backdoors, disclaimers, hate. Oh, by the way, did I mention that this redheaded fairy tale maker had 2 YouTube channels taken down this week and his Facebook page? So all of his videos, I do believe, are open season to use.
I got nothing to lose, to tell you.
All of his videos are now open season to use any way you like because his channels are gone. He does not own the rights to these videos anymore.
The story, but a lot to gain as far.
He has nothing to gain by this. He's trying to gain more of what he calls operatives to do negative stuff to people like myself, where he had either he or his operative called up the restaurant to try to get me thrown out, which didn't work. They ended up coming over to my table and thanking me for making videos. This man in this video talking is not showing his face because he doesn't want to be prosecuted by putting his face in the video.
Far as getting knowledge to the people.
He's not getting knowledge to the people. He's giving you lies. Lie number 8. Bakakun ka number 8.
And allowing people to make their own assessments.
No, he's not allowing people to make their own assessments. He's putting Bakakun Ka in your head. He's lying. And he justifies the lies by more lies. He compounds one lie on top of the other lie. One Bakakun Ka on top of the next Bakakun Ka on top of the Bakakun Ka before that. Making a bologna and cheese tower out of Bakakun Ka. You don't understand. There is a sickness in the YouTube genre, and he is the basic tenet of what this sickness is. People that lie, people that deceive, people that portray themselves as truth sayers, when in fact they are Bakakun Ka people. Bakakun Ka, Bakakun Ka, Bakakun Ka, Bakakun Ka people. Bakakun Ka. Let's go back to the videotape.
As to whether this guy is a hero or a foe.
Now he's going to determine whether the great Warren H is a hero or a foe. That's another lie. It's his version. If it suits him that Warren is a great guy, then he's a great guy. If it suits him to destroy Warren's reputation, then Warren is a bad guy. To be honest with you, Warren is a bigger piece of garbage than any other YouTube blogger that has ever disgraced the YouTube Philippines vlogging genre, because of all the thousands of hours that he stole from people, feeling sorry for him, sending him letters, get well soon, sorry to hear about you. You know that Warren was such a fraud. Warren was such a fraud that he had a date on a calendar set up to mourn his wife and children's fiery death in a car crash, and he did the same date for 2 years in a row. That he had it on a calendar. He had this whole system set up of lies. He had a guy named Liam O'Carroll that lived in the same building. Doesn't exist. He had a wife that he eventually got married to, Amel, the Angry Hornet. She doesn't exist. His girlfriend, who I know now for 3 years, who he talked about for 3 years, who knocked on the door for 3 years, and he says, this is Amel is here. So let me see what she looks like. No, she doesn't want to be on camera. 3 years, the guy never showed me his girlfriend because it was never Amel. There is no Amel. There is no wife. There were no children. There was no police officer on duty. There was none of that. It's all a fictitious story in Warren H's head. It never happened. And when I caught on, at the end of the day, I abused everything that Warren ever said to me as a lie. I exploited everything he said as a lie. And I was ridiculed on YouTube for multiple different reasons, but because I disgraced I built Warren H. up as a wonderful, honest, hardworking, wonderful person. And then when I knocked him down off his pedestal because of his lies and his bakakun ka ways, I was the bad guy. So I was the one who built him up. I was the one who made friends with him. I was the one who got him multiple friends in multiple different places all over the world. And then when I realized he was a liar, my 10 or 12 close friends understood that he was a liar. But the people on YouTube, these sacrificial lambs on YouTube, they made me to be the scapegoat. I don't care about that, but I'm just telling you, the great Warren H. was a fraud from the get-go. There is no Warren H. Nobody, not the greatest researchers that I know of, could ever find a single detail about a guy named Warren H. and his rest of his last name. Nobody could find out his birth records. Nobody could find out a work schedule. Nobody could find out where he worked. Nobody could find him as a police officer that was retired. Nobody could find any single newspaper article of his wife dying and the children dying in a fiery crash. Now, Warren H. is a fictitious blotch on YouTube. All right? That's what Warren H. is. Now, let's go. I see a comment here. Let me check that out. Well, that's not where the comments are. Well, I got to get over to my... Andrew. Canoy in the Philippines. I did, Mr. Fazio. He will always get what's coming to him. Life has a funny way of doing that. Yeah, Canoy is talking about giving me permission to tell you, the people, what this piece of garbage blogger, the red-headed fairy tale maker, did to Canoy. He contacted Mrs. Canoy in the Philippines and told her that Canoy was giving she a few $100s a month or at a time. I don't remember how much it was. And it caused their marriage to break up. This is what the red-headed fairy tale maker does to people. And now that he's off of YouTube, why is he off? He's off of YouTube for hate speech. He got thrown off of 2 channels on YouTube for hate speech and Facebook for hate speech. Let alone lies. 10,000, 20,000 lies. The guy's been lying. What about the lie that he was married? He was never married to his girlfriend, who was really married to another man. He was never married to her. He kept that lie up for 3.5 years. He even lied about why it said on an affidavit that he was a single man. He said that police made a mistake. Police didn't make any mistake. I could have brought that to the light of day because I had a case against him, and it said X and X, a single white male from an American U.S. passport, whatever. It says a single white. The guy's a perpetual bakakun ka kind of guy. He's a bakakun ka man. He's the bakakun ka man. This guy doesn't have an ounce of honesty. If he's being honest, it's only to set you up for the next bakakun ka story. There is no such thing as truth from this guy. It's only to set you up for the next lie. 300 at one time to actually acquire a lawyer to go after him on Super Chats. That's right. I remember it was 300 or something. I did remember 300. I didn't know why. Andrew Steinmetz, the great Andrew Steinmetz. No, that we mean. Andrew Steinmetz. There are people on YouTube that are, Andrew Steinmetz. Andrew and I are good friends. So let's go. Warren H. is one of the most prolific liars to ever exist. He made up a whole fairy tale life and lied to Michael and to all of us. Because I had Warren on Skype with myself, Scott Del Fuego, Andrew Steinmetz, Daisy May at the time, and a few other people who I won't mention their names because they don't want to be associated with me. personally. Not because they're afraid of me, but just they wish to remain anonymous. So Warren is the greatest liar. He's a bigger liar than the Bakakun Ka man. Warren is the great Bakakun Ka. Warren is the great Bakakun Ka. The greatest. Nobody could ever supersede the Bakakun Ka that came out of the great Warren H's mouth. Let's go on to the rest of this video, because it's going to take a while. I could see this is going to take longer than I had planned. But let's go back to the videotape. Let's turn it around. Let's see. We're up to lie number, Bakakun Ka number 8, I think we're up to, yeah? Okay. Let's listen to this a little bit further.
Warren set out in the beginning to develop a friendship with the island guy.
That's true, because Warren wanted the fame and notoriety that I had already. And he used me to get that fame, notoriety, and friendships. That's the truth. But here he is. He's setting you up for a bigger lie.
There was some personal motivation beyond,
Dave Man, Captain Dave Man, welcome. Warren is, what a... one day I'll call you up, Dave, and I'll tell you. Well, everything I say in this video is true. Warren is a total fraud. And what he did at the end of the day with this Bakakun Ka man is one of the most disgusting things that ever occurred in the YouTube Philippines vlogging genre. Well, let's go on.
Actually involved with this. He did have ideas, possibly, of coming to the Philippines. Warren has always been
He was never coming to the Philippines. He set me up to make me look like an idiot, but it was his idea to say he was coming to the Philippines, and he offered to invest in my hotel so he could have the second floor. The amount of work and energy I put into figuring out what it would cost to build the second floor and writing him up a contract for the second floor and telling him that he could have the whole second floor, how many square footage it was, and how many we would remove the bathrooms and the kitchens from the 2 other apartments, and we talked about this endlessly. This guy, Warren H., even picked out the color of the tile. He had me going to Build-A-Ware to show him tiles for the floor. He didn't even send me a check for the deposit for the second floor, which was going to be a total of $80,000. He didn't even send me a check for like $30,000, which was supposed to happen on January 6th of this year that just passed. He didn't even send me a check for that. And he had me going out showing him kitchen cabinets and tile. The man set me up from the get-go, and he did a great job of that. We'll get involved with that momentarily. All right, so let's listen. He had no intentions of moving to the Philippines. He just wanted people to believe he was going to come to the Philippines. I even found a house for him to buy for 20 million pesos. He had me go there and make videos of the outside of the house, the garage, the property, the landscaping around the house. He had everything. He was going to buy the house. He was going to get in touch with the owner of the house. I made the videos. I sent it to him. He said, I'm going to buy the house. Tell the guy I'm buying the house, and then never contacted the guy. Warren is a liar.
Kind of a shut-in, and really had the need for attention and the need for friendship. He developed this quasi...
He did. He needed this attention and friendship. He did waste thousands of hours of my time. Thousands of hours of my time. And none of what this piece of red-headed fairy tale... Thank you, Bentayan Brawler. Bentayan Brawler said Warren didn't know how to scam people. None of what this guy ever said. I'm telling you, Warren had me go next door, make a video of from my house, all of the outside property of next door, then go down to the beach, then walk left and right, then come back, Then I asked the homeowner for permission to make a video of the property, which took several trips to his house to convince him to let me make a video of his property, and then several more conversations with him and his wife to make a video of inside the house. Warren finally got the video of inside the house, said I'm going to buy the house, and then never talked to the guy. He had me waste probably 15 hours on just that one project. He had me go to Build-A-Ware and pick out tile for the floor in the hotel. I didn't even have those foundations for the hotel in. He had me go pick out kitchen cabinets for him. He wanted the colors of the Formica. The man was... I said, I'm not doing all of that crap. You give me $30,000 on January 6th like we're supposed to, and I'll go ahead and go get all that stuff for you. But I'm not at your beck and call. He had me asking me for crap like what kind of doorknobs do you have, and what's the options for toilet bowls, and do they have silent flush in toilet bowls? Warren H. set me up big time. But eventually, on December 8th of 2020, I told Warren, this goes back to 2019. This is a year and a half ago. I told Warren, you have to give me $30,000 on January 6th of 2020. And he said, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to become friends with the red-headed fairy tale maker. And I will get more information on him, and we will go to the NBR together. After Warren spent a year and a half talking about going to Interpol and Scotland Yard and the Australian cybercrimes. He never did any of that. He was a liar from the get-go. He never went to a single meeting with the police. And yet, 5 or 6 times a week, he would update me on what they said. The guy was a liar, a bigger liar than the red-headed fairy tale maker. Let's go back to the videotape. We're up to lie number 9.
Friendship, relationship with this guy from the island. And he did, through a course of time, send him money. That's the truth.
Warren sent me a total of just under $3,000 in Super Chat and for money for a computer. Now, I did not ask Warren for money for a computer. He wanted me to have a computer because my keyboard didn't work, the screen on my Asus didn't work, some of the keys didn't work, and he wanted me to have a good computer so we could, number one, Skype and so on and so forth. He's already out of breath in that video. That's right. He's already puffing and puffing. 10 minutes into the video, he's out of breath. Thanks for pointing that out. The guy couldn't walk up and down. Anyway, so the guy's a frail little red-headed fairy tale maker. So Warren wanted me to have a computer, and he wanted me to have, so that I would have good access to, what was the name of that other stuff besides YouTube live stream? You could go on, I couldn't get the other product on whatever it is. There was another product that you could live stream from another platform. I couldn't get that on my computer because my computer didn't have that capability. Anyway, that's what he wanted. So Warren ended up giving me just under $3,000. This phone that I'm blogging from, I spent 75,000 pesos for the phone. I spent 75,000 pesos for the phone. That's $1,500, by the way. And then I spent 30,000 pesos for the computer, which is $600. So I spent all but $900 of what Warren gave me in super chats and monetary and sent direct deposit to my account. So I spent that money on what it was for. This fraud, this lying, red-headed fairy tale maker said I scammed Warren. I never scammed Warren. How do I make somebody send me $500? How is that possible? It's not possible. And Bantayan Brawler is talking about This is a walk. This is the walk that this red-headed fairy tale maker used to walk, and this is where his dog pooped on somebody else's lawn, and that's where the shovel weapon video comes from. That's on Passport's TV's. That Passport TV on multiple channels. This guy is incapable of having a conversation or friendship with anybody at all, and it goes on and on. But we got to get back to this video because we're only up to line number 8. There's 95 more lies. This could take a while. Sit down, get your popcorn.
He was sent money, but was also making, not that I'm trying to stick up for the island guy, but I just want to set the record straight here. He had the island guy believing that he was going to invest in this project that the island guy wanted to put together.
That's true. He had me believing it. There's no doubt about it. Because why else would somebody send me almost $3,000 if he was doing something false? This is the extent that the great Warren H. lied. He lied to this is what made him famous. This is what made him have friends. This is what brought him into the fold with my friends. That everybody believed Warren was sincere, but he was basically a fraud from the get-go. And somebody said, is he alive still? Yeah, Warren is probably alive and laying in bed at 390 pounds of blubber and flubber, staring at an 86-inch TV screen on the ceiling, going, boy, I wish I didn't do that right now. When I say wish I didn't do that, he wished he didn't commit all of this fraud, because now, if he didn't commit all of this fraud, he would have actual friends to talk to and to meet in the Philippines. But now he has nothing. Not a single one of my friends took Warren H's side in this matter. Not one. Not even, no one even questioned that whether or not he was telling the truth. They knew right away. As soon as I exposed him, that my friends knew right away. It's only the trolls on YouTube that followed Warren and made him bigger than life, when in fact he's the greatest liar to ever live. The Bakakunka, the king, I say, the king of Bakakunka, the ultimate king, like the Burger King of Bakakunka. Lie number 9, done.
Of course, it was a selfish effort that the island guy wanted to do, because he really wanted.
It wasn't selfish. I'm building a freaking hotel. You want to invest in the hotel? That's how people build skyscrapers. That's how people build businesses. They take on partners. This piece of garbage, the red-headed fairy tale maker, is saying that I was doing it for a selfish reason. I was going to build a business that Warren was going to have a place to live. This isn't selfish. This is pure business. This moron, red-headed fairy tale maker, lying, red-headed fairy tale maker, piece of work, red-headed fairy tale maker. Lies. It wasn't for self. It was strictly business. You want half the hotel, you want the first floor, you want the second floor, you want the third floor. It's up for sale. Could I do that? Yes, I could do that. Because he's going to go on and say I don't have permits for the hotel, but the piece of garbage, the red-headed fairy tale maker, won't bet me $10,000 that I don't have permits, because he knows he's going to lose. This is what this coward red-headed fairy tale maker does. He challenges you on something, you'll wager him something, he goes, oh, show it to me for free. Screw you. Show it to you for free. Put your money on the table. I'm from New York. You don't do things like that. In New York, you make a wager. You put your money on the table. Winner takes all. Then this chump, the red-headed fairy tale maker, he'll never put his money on the table because he has no table to put money on and no money to put on the table.
Wanted to build a place that he'd have some place to live in, so he figured if he could get investment money from somebody to actually come through and build this project that he would have a place to live.
Exactly true. Come, you want to invest? We'll build a hotel. You take the second floor. You'll have a view of the ocean for the next 15, 16, at this point, 17 years when I met Warren. 17 years you're going to watch the ocean. After that, you can rent an apartment in the building when I give it back to the landlord. But this piece of garbage that's never accomplished anything in his life, the world's greatest underachiever, had to try to take this away from me in any way, shape, or form. And I'm still going to build a hotel. And when I build a hotel, then he's going to say it's not really his hotel. Somebody else owns the hotel. Somebody else financed. This piece of garbage, the red-headed fairy tale maker. On to lie number 10.
Now, living in a dilapidated shack has not been the greatest part of this guy's career.
Lie number 11. I never once ever complained about living where I live. I've never once complained about it. Sometimes I say I wish I had a hot shower in the middle of the winter when I'm taking cold bucket baths, but other than that, I've never complained about the size or the where I live or the conditions I live underneath. This piece of red-headed fairy tale, frickin' Hans Christian Andersen of the Bakakun Land, lying piece of garbage. He's the one that puts words in everybody else's mouth. Lie number 12.
And of course, he's always trying to protect his own image.
I don't have to protect my own image. I'm 10,000 times the man this red-headed fairy tale maker is. 20,000 times the man this red-headed fairy tale maker is. What has the red-headed fairy tale maker ever done and showed you on YouTube to show you that he is in any way, shape, or form capable of doing any physical activity? Anything at all. Anything. Can he walk? Can he walk backwards? Can he swim? No. Can he scuba dive? No. Can he do construction work? No. Does he show you when he painted his house? No, because he didn't paint his house. He had the tenant paint his house. And he took pictures of the paintbrush and the ladder where the tenant was working when the tenant took breaks. Did he power wash the roof? No. The tenant power washed the roof. The guy lies about everything. When has he ever shown you any pictures of a car that he owned? He showed you a picture of a Nova 50 years ago that he stood next to and said he owned the car. He's never owned anything of any value. He didn't even buy his own house in Hawaii. His friend lent him $8,000 to buy as the initial deposit for the house. He didn't even have $8,000. And then he paid his friend back. No interest, but he paid his friend back. He lies about everything. And I have that documented. Let's go on to lie number 13. Should be a doozy. Coming up, 13. Let's see what happens.
By saying that I don't mind living like this. Well, of course he does. And he knows he's getting older. And he wanted an opportunity to have a place to live. An actual apartment. But the only...
That's right. Isn't that what everybody wants? A nice place to live? Except that I had a way to do it. I rented the magnificent piece of property near the ocean. I have the magnificent piece of property rental agreement under my name. I have the contract with the lawyer that says I own this property for 20 years from the date I started. I'm the one that went and got the plans and the permits. I'm the one that got the inspectors to sign off on the plans and the permits. I am the one that paid the taxes for the permit fees, not anybody else. I deserve to have a beautiful place to live because I was smart enough to rent a piece of property that no one wanted at the time and I saw great potential in. But this piece of garbage, the red-headed fairy tale maker, who can't even rebuttal this video because he got thrown off of YouTube. And by the way, when you come back, we're all going to report you because you've been thrown off of YouTube. And their terms of service are once you've been thrown off for hate speech, you can't come back on. So no matter what the name of your new channel is, no matter who you put the YouTube channel name under, no matter how you try to disguise your YouTube channel, once we find out where your new YouTube channel is, we're going to report you and you're going to get kicked off YouTube again. Because the rules are, once you get kicked off for hate speech, now not once, not twice, but 3 times, you can't come back on YouTube. So you're going to get kicked off the next time you come back on as well. So don't even think about rebuttaling this, because everybody knows that you are the Bakakun Ka red-headed fairy tale maker. Lie number 14 coming up.
The way he could do this is by soliciting on YouTube to try to get people interested in investing money.
And I did do exactly that, and I'm allowed to do that. I have a contract with the landlord that I can rent out my units as apartments or rent out my units as long-term rentals, rent apartments by the day, rooms by the day, long-term rentals, or sell any part of the building for the length of the lease agreement. I have it all written in a contract, and yet this piece of garbage, the Bakakun Ka man, says I can't do that. Well, I can do that legally, and I did solicit legally, and I will have somebody legally once I start. I have the ability to bring anybody into the fold that I want, but I'll be a lot more selective than when I chose that piece of garbage from Australia as a partner.
And in a failed, it was failed from the beginning. The project would have never really happened.
Lie number 14 and lie number 15. The project is going to happen. I do have permits. Lie number 16 coming up momentarily. Let's go.
A lot of red tape and bureaucracy with putting together, getting a building permit as a tourist.
There is no problem getting a building permit as a tourist. This guy lies about everything. He lies. This is why there's 103 lies in a 31-minute video. You could be a tourist. I know a guy that owns a bar in Alona Beach. He's been on a tourist visa for 16 years. And he owns several businesses. But I know of one bar in Alona Beach. He owns another bar someplace else. I would never mention his name, but he owns several businesses. Of course, his wife owns 60% of the business, but it's still a tourist visa. This guy lies about everything. Lie number 17 coming up.
You got to put around the factors that his age and how long he has on the lease.
My age, see, his problem is that he's totally incapable of doing anything physical. If he tried to do what I did physical yesterday, it would bust his body up into little pieces. He can't carry a 90-pound board 25 feet and then throw it up on a 3-foot-high table. He can't walk 90 pounds of anything anywhere. He can't even walk 100 feet. He's not even into this video for what? How many minutes? 6 minutes? 4 minutes and 4 seconds. And he's out of breath on a flat and level ground. He gets out of breath walking from the frozen food department to the frozen vegetable department. The man is a pitiful waste of muscle and muscle mass. There's no muscle mass. Gary calls him Pelican Man because his arms look like skin over little bones. That's what he is. He's shaped like a pelican bone man. Anyway, let's go on to line number, 15 coming up?
For that property. It was all a con from the beginning.
There was no con, line number 16.
All a con. He wanted people to
line number 17, no con. It wasn't a con.
Build himself a place that he could live.
That's true.
Now, he found a sucker.
I didn't find a sucker. Warren begged me to be my partner. Line number 19.
Well, somebody he thought that was a sucker. Okay.
I never thought Warren was a sucker. I thought Warren was a true, honest human being. Warren turned out to be a liar, but line number 20, I never thought Warren was a sucker.
To put it that way. That's where Warren H. came in. Now, both guys needed friendship.
I don't need Warren H's friendship. The people that I'm friends with are my friends. The people I'm not friends with, who cares? In all of life, no one's going to have more than a dozen friends from the time they're born to the time they die. And I got that many right now. You have no idea. He has no idea who my friends are because he'll never see my friends. He'll never meet my friends. And if he does, it might not be the best thing in the world. Let's move on. Lie number 20.
To the umpteenth degree. They're both very lonely people.
I'm not lonely. I never get lonely. If I was lonely, I'd go out and find a companion. I don't care about companionship. I keep myself busy with my projects around the property, my YouTube, and whatever personal relationships I have are none of anybody's business. Because of people like this Bakakun Ka man, as soon as you expose anybody that you're friends with, he contacts them behind your back and lies to them. Who needs that kind of crap in their life? Lie number 21. And dude, if I ever see you in person again, you're going to have to repeat those lies to me. I'm going to make you repeat those lies to me. Believe me, I'm going to make you repeat those lies to me. You piece of garbage. You spend your entire life trying to destroy other people's lives. One day, somebody is going to meet you in person, and they're going to smack you or do something that you're afraid of, which is why you never leave the house and go anywhere far from the house alone, because you're scared to death. You're a little frail, little red-headed fairy tale man. You never go blogging in the Philippines or in Hawaii. You never go anywhere alone. Now you have a dog. You're walking down your block in your neighborhood, in a private community. That's not exactly moving out into the world and blogging, because you, sir, are a coward. Lie number 21, done.
No women and seemingly no future.
No women. How does he know I have no women? See, he makes this stuff up. Maybe, one day I'll surprise all of you with showing you a female companion that I have. Maybe I won't. Maybe when I made the video with the 3 girls who I wasn't interested in, he's trying. I never tried to date those people. He lies about everything. He's a perpetual piece of red-headed fairy tale making, story making piece of work.
The island guy tried to solicit the help of Warren H.
I never solicited anything from Warren. He wanted to buy the 2nd floor.
To get a
Lie number 23.
project. Might call it a fictitious project.
It was never fictitious. Do you think I went out and spent 50,000 pesos for plans and permits for nothing and spent years to get it all put together? This guy is a piece of garbage fairy tale, red-headed fairy tale maker. It wasn't fictitious is when you don't have permits. Fictitious is when you don't have plans. I have plans, 26,000 pesos for plans, 26,000 pesos for permits. I have all of that. And then months and months and months of wear and tear on my person and being to get all that stuff together. And this piece of garbage has the nerve, the audacity to say it's fictitious. It's because he can't do what I do. He's a red-headed fairy tale maker.
Project.
Lie number 24.
But not necessarily fictitious. If he was able to receive the funds needed.
I don't need the damn funds needed. I got the funds, you lying piece of garbage. 25.
To make this project happen.
I can make this project happen. I just do it my way. I don't want to have a Filipino crew on my property. I refuse to hire people that drink alcohol day and night, night and day, smoke cigarettes all day. I refuse to hire people that don't follow directions or follow orders. I will do this my way or it won't happen. This piece of garbage. And then when I do hire a crew, this piece of garbage will go directly to the Workmen's Compensation Board and report me, which is another reason why I will do this myself. So I don't have problems with the Workmen's Compensation Board. This piece of garbage, this jealous little red-headed fairy tale maker has to go and rat everybody out. This piece of garbage blogger who doesn't exist anymore in the YouTube world has to rat everybody out, like he ratted me out to the prawn farm and had the establishment come and interview me, only to thank me for making videos in their establishment. He lied about that. He lies about everything. This guy, he's afraid to walk around by himself anywhere and blog because he's afraid that somebody will split him open. That's what he's afraid of. Walking down the block in Hawaii, somebody will just walk up to him and crack him in the jaw for lying about somebody else altogether that they don't even know. He's a coward. He's afraid to go anywhere by himself. Moving on to lie number 27.
Of course, that's assuming that he could actually get a real building permit.
I have a real building permit. Going on to lie number 28.
And had the foundation of a lot of money to...
I don't need a lot of money. I have enough money to do what I want to do. Lie number 29, done.
Make this actually happen. The whole idea behind this was to milk...
I never wanted to milk anybody, this piece of garbage. The Bakakunka, this fairy tale maker. Lies about everything. Who was I milking? Warren H.? He begged me for the second floor.
Was to milk Warren for as much money as he could get. Computers, this, that. He had Warren so trained. You know, he expected Warren to pay for everything.
No. Warren agreed to give me 30,000 pesos on January 6th of 2020. And when he told me on December 8th of 2019 he wasn't going to do that, that's when I turned on Warren. Because I waited an entire year for Warren's deposit for the second floor to come in. And when he reneged on the deposit, I shit-canned him as a friend, as a potential investor, as anything other than a scam. This guy is lying about that too. Lie number 22 coming up.
Now, like when their relationship was falling apart...
Our relationship didn't fall apart. I destroyed our relationship because Warren was a fraud. Lie number 23 coming up.
The island guy insisted when Warren would not answer the Skype.
This is a total lie. I called Warren multiple times on Skype because he was sick and he was unable to answer the phone. And when you saw him, he looked like death warmed over. I was just trying to wake him up half the times I called him. But this guy, lie number 24 coming up.
That Warren owes him $1,000.
Never did I demand money from Warren because he didn't answer the Skype. Half in jest. Sometimes I would say, you know, I should charge you for the time that I call you up and you don't answer the phone. But I never expected money from Warren for that. It was all in friendship and laughter and what we call atik lang. It was all a joke. But this piece of garbage, this red-headed fairy being the operative, this red-headed fairy tale maker makes this stuff up as he goes along. Lie number 28 coming up momentarily. "28 lies in under 6 minutes. Imagine that. Great show today. Dick Leiter, thank you. My Philippines Interest DQ. Projection. That's what it is, because he's a failure in life. He's projecting failure on everybody else. 20 lies in 4 minutes, says Andrew. My Philippines Interest. He doesn't educate himself. He makes assumptions and tries to pass them off as fact. That's true. It's what he does. It's what he's incapable of. He's incapable of learning how to be truthful. Andrew says he sounds out of breath, heavy breathing while he's walking like a damn snail. That's true. The guy is so far out of shape, and he wants to believe that he could fight me in the ring. He would die of a massive stroke 30 seconds into the round one. But I would be willing to do that. Freaking liar. Okay, back to the videotape. Thanks for the comments there. Let's go back up here. Let's get this big. So we're into lie number 27 now, right? I think 27. I lose track.
Because of the fact that Warren was not answering the Skype. He was calling Warren off the hook.
I was. I called him day and night just to make sure he was okay. Another lie. Lie number 29 coming up.
Off the hook on Skype. And this continued. And he called Warren every single name you could possibly think of.
If I called Warren names, it was as a joke. This guy doesn't know what a joke is. His mother, this guy's mother, knows what a joke is. The day he was born, the doctor laughed and said, "Are you kidding me? This is the sperm that won the challenge to find the egg." And his mother laughed and said, "I guess this is the sperm that got the egg as a prize." That's what the doctor said when he was born. The very day he was born, the doctor said, "Oh my God," to his mother, "this is the sperm that won the challenge to get to the egg." My God, I feel sorry for you, ma'am. And they all laughed in the maternity ward.
In the process of his anger toward Warren, because Warren had decided that he was not going to be paying any money.
Warren didn't decide anything. Warren said he was going to give me that money on January 6th of 2020. On December 8th of 2020, Warren changed the story around. Mike, I don't have enough information for Scotland Yard. I don't have enough information for Interpol. I don't have enough information for the Australian cybercrimes. I'm going to become friends with the red-headed fairy tale maker, and I will get more information. And I said to Warren, "No, don't do that. If you talk to him, then you're betraying my trust with you. Not only is the deal for the hotel off, but our friendship ends right there, that very moment." And he said, "I'm going to do this." And I said, "Screw you, Warren, don't do it." And he did it, and I never talked to Warren again from that day forward. Never did I ever talk to Warren again. As far as I know, as far as I care, Warren Hunt is dead in theory to me. Warren couldn't possibly ever be my friend again. But what Warren could do, if he wanted to, is Warren could give me now what I want for the second floor is 190,000 pesos to 200,000 pesos. I mean 200,000 US dollars for the second floor. And then he can buy the second floor, but we're never going to be friends. So if Warren wants the second floor still, not only will I bring Warren back to life from the dead, because I can do that. Warren H. is dead to everybody on YouTube. I, Michael Fazio, can get a Ouija board. I can do a seance, and I could bring the dead, rotten, stinking soul of Warren H. out of the bowels of hell back into the real world for 200,000 American dollars, and as a bonus, he gets the second floor to the hotel. That's what it would take for me to ever talk to Warren again. And that money would have to come as a single payment directly into my bank account. And I'll write the contract up. You can have the second floor, and I'll even give you a due date for the second floor to be done and ready for you to move into. So for $200,000, I will resurrect the dead kangaroo's soul. He will receive the second floor of the hotel. I will never be friends with the dead kangaroo, but think about it like this. This is directly to the dead kangaroo. If I resurrect you with a Ouija board, you are now capable of coming back to life. On YouTube, you can continue with your fraudulent, deceptive, backstabbing, underhanded, lying, deceptive ways, all for less than $201,000. So for $200,000, I get a real Ouija board, I Ouija board your ass back into reality, and you're back with a place to stay 1 year from the day you give me the money. I guarantee the second floor will be done 1 year from the day you give me money. Because for that part of the job, I'll just hire a crew to get the second floor done. I won't even build the first floor. I'll just build the second floor, which is totally legal here. So Warren H., I know you're listening. I know your dead, rotten, disgusting corpse of a soul wants to come back onto YouTube. So you give me $200,000, deposit that into my American bank account or my Philippines bank account. I bring you back to life with my Ouija board. I can do that. I have the power. I have the power. Otherwise, you sit in your hospital bed, in your room, your 670-pound lying blubber ass sits there, looks at the ceiling, and watches me work in the yard. But for $200,000, you can get your 670-pound blubbery ass to the second floor of the hotel where you could look out and see the ocean. It's up to you, dead, rotten, stinking kangaroo corpse of a soul. It's up to you. It's not up to me. It's all on you, buddy. All on you, pal. See what a nice guy I am? This is why they call me Mr. Congeniality. Because I'm willing to make sacrifices. I'm willing to eat a little bit of, crow. For $200,000, I'll eat a lot of crow. I'll bring your worthless, dead, rotten, stinking kangaroo corpse ass back into life. I'll do that for you, dead, rotten, stinking kangaroo corpse back to life, Warren H. I'll do that for you. I'm a nice guy. Ask me, I'll tell you. I come with my own references. You have no idea what a nice guy I am. Let's move back to lie number 30.
For the friendship, and that's all it was. It was buying a friendship, as he did to me.
I wasn't buying no friendship with Warren. Warren wasn't buying no friendship with me. Warren wasn't buying no friendship with this idiot. This idiot believes Warren became his friend to become my enemy. Partially true. Why Warren became this red-headed fairy tale's friend is because Warren wanted to entrap the red-headed fairy tale into saying something that could be prosecuted for. Not for me, but for Warren's own selfish purposes, that he would have something on the red-headed fairy tale maker.
Now, people know that I have talked to Warren at length on Skype.
Lie number 32 done. He did talk to Warren at length on Skype. That's true. Lie number 33 coming up.
That's all true. That's all very true. Warren was becoming friendly with me because he wanted an ally against the island guy.
That's true.
That's what happened.
That's true.
And Warren is, he's intelligent in many ways.
But why is it true? It's true because I dumped Warren like a piece of work on the side of the road. And Warren had nobody to reach out to be his so-called friend. So he chose the most vulnerable piece of crap on YouTube to become friends with, because this guy has nobody in his life that he's friends with. So he would accept the dead, rotten, stinking kangaroo soul of Warren H. as a friend because he has no one else in his life. He says he has friends. We never met any of his friends. We've never seen any of his friends. He says he has a girlfriend. But we don't know that that's still true. He said he was married to that same woman for 3.5 years. We do know that's a lie. Everything about this guy is a lie. That was lie number 33 as to why Warren became friends with him. Warren became friends with him because Warren needs social interaction, and he chose the most vulnerable piece of redheaded fairy tale garbage on YouTube to interact with.
But he's actually very stupid in other ways too. I mean, this whole scam about him being dead.
Now, there's the only big truth in this whole video is that Warren was scamming people to be dead. There's going to be the next 4 or 5 minutes is all true. Warren scammed everybody to believe he was dead. Nobody that knows him ever believed he was dead. So we're up to lie number 33, and we have a couple of truths here, very few and far between, so pay attention.
Telling people to say that he died.
That's true.
But yet he's going under fictitious account names.
That's
like
true.
William O'Carroll.
That's true.
That's
Arnold
the Angry Hornet.
That's true.
And saying that he got married
That's
to
true.
Amel. Well, during that period of time
That's
that
true.
I was talking to Warren, now I'm kind of going all over the planet here, back and forth with some
That's
facts,
true.
but we'll iron this out here.
Yeah, that's true.
During this period of time that he was communicating with me, he never, ever had Amel or Liam go on camera.
That's true.
During my Skype sessions, instead of Warren answering, I would get something back from someone called Liam
That's true.
or Amel.
That's true.
And upon asking them to go on camera, they would never go on camera. So, oh yeah, one day we're going to get us all together and we're going to go on camera, we'll have a Skype session. That never happened because there never was an Amel and there never was a Liam O'Carroll. Never existed.
That's true.
He went on with this charade for quite a while. And I was smart enough to figure it out from the get-go.
You're
So
a liar.
it was not like I was being bamboozled
That's a lie.
into believing that these people actually existed.
Lie number 35.
I knew Warren's capabilities,
Lie number 36.
and I went along with it.
Lie number 37.
I went along with it
Lie number
to
38.
see what he'd have to say.
Lie number 39.
And I'll tell you what, he never had anything good to say about the island guy at all.
Lie
Now, I'm
number
not sticking
40.
up for the island guy
Lie
here.
number 41.
But he used him to such incredible levels.
Lie number 42.
Now, there was some selfish needs involved here. He wanted to have him as a friend because he really was friendless, as well as the island guy pretty much
Lie
Being-
number 43.
friendless.
Lie number 44.
And they depended on talking to each other
Lie
quite a
number
while.
45.
Hello. And, I mean, we're talking about Skype sessions that lasted for hours.
That's true.
And good parts of the day,
That's true.
they would be talking to each other.
That's true.
Enormous amounts of time.
That's true.
Plotting and planning on the side of the island guy on trying to convince Warren to invest in anything he wanted to
Lie
buy.
number
He would hit
47.
Warren up.
Lie number
Hey, I
48.
need this. I need this tool.
Lie
I
number
need this. I need this
49.
computer.
Lie number
I need
50.
this.
Lie
It's
number
almost like he
51.
felt that Warren had this responsibility
Lie number 52.
to give him money all the time.
Lie number 53.
And he became greedy,
Lie number 54.
and he figured that Warren was pretty gullible.
Lie number 55.
And he used this gullibility and naivety
Lie
with
number
Warren
56.
to get what he wanted.
Lie number 57.
And it got to a point it was so bad
Lie number 58.
that he expected everything from Warren.
Lie number 59.
I mean, everything and anything.
Lie number 60.
He thought Warren owed him for this, and Warren owed him for that,
Lie number
and
70.
Warren owed him for this.
Lie number 80.
It got to the point when Warren didn't give in.
Lie number 72.
The island guy just got really pissed off.
Lie number 73.
Anyway, let's move forward. Warren has turned out to be the biggest troll on YouTube
That's true.
in history of the
That's
Philippines
true.
blogging community.
That's true.
Warren has so many sock accounts
That's true.
that you wouldn't believe some of the names he goes under, other than the common names that you already know now. That he's Liam O'Carroll, of course, and that he's, Amel the Angry Hornet.
That's true.
From the most loved person on YouTube that you could not even say a horrible word about Warren, or else you would be attacked viciously.
That's true.
To the point now where Warren has, by his own hands and doings, has become probably the most hated person
That's true.
on YouTube.
That's true.
Because he has lied to his viewers,
That's true.
he has falsified his death,
That's true.
and he can't go back on his own channel anymore because
That's
remember
true.
he's supposed to be
I
dead.
can. I can bring him back to life.
Warren is a liar,
I can bring him back.
and Warren is responsible for a lot of incidents.
I can bring him back.
And we're going to share you with these incidents he's responsible
200,000. I bring him back. I bring the dead kangaroo
for.
back.
Let's start it off.
Mm.
You remember how I told you folks how Warren sent information to somebody that's a Facebook user that happened to live in my town of Santa.
Ah, that's such a lie. That's such a lie. We have a major lying segment coming up here. Partially true, partially lies. I know the truth. If I tell you the truth, it would expose somebody else. But I won't tell you the truth. I'll just tell you the next 5 minutes whether it's true or false.
The Faye, you all know that story. Let's elaborate on this just a little bit, okay? What he did was, Warren had written on a community page for a police department.
That's true.
He had written these horrible things about me. Of course, they were untrue.
That's
It was
lie.
inclusive of some video footage and photographs of me and my partner.
Lie number 73.
Now, look, I'm telling you a story because I want it all to come out. Because
Lie number
truthfully,
74.
my
Notice.
time on YouTube
Notice.
is very...
Notice that he stopped. Notice that he stopped. Notice that he stopped when he said that Warren distributed information and some videos. Notice that he stopped short of saying what was in the video. Well, what originally was in the video, and this is factual stuff, this was posted on YouTube, was that this redheaded fairy tale maker, what he did was he got a burnt pizza, and instead of letting it go, calling up the owner of the store saying, look, I got a burnt pizza, send me another pizza, or paying for it and just forgetting about it, he made a national incident out of this burnt pizza. And then he proceeded to make 2 or 3 videos. This is why he stopped short of saying what was in the videos that was disseminated about him. He made the guy's pizzeria look like, like the guy was cooking pizza out of a sewer. Cockroaches the size of B-52s in the guy's establishment, poor service, the waitress is always on the phone, they're not paying attention to the patrons, they have to wait too long for the pie, the pizza, when they're in the store, when he was home, the pizza came burnt and he showed you the burnt pizza. Who can eat this crap? Instead of just letting it go. Because the guy offered him a free pizza. Come back in and get a free pizza. The guy made good on the pie, but he ate the pie except for the burnt part. But that's what he stopped short on. He stopped short on what was sent out to his neighbors or to the owner of that restaurant. So he made 3 or 4 derogatory videos about that pizzeria owner. He made derogatory videos about the owner of some businesses on the beach. And Warren took those videos, this is true, Warren took those videos and sent them, according to Warren, I had nothing to do with this, but this is what Warren said he did. Warren sent those videos to the owner of the pizzeria and to the owner of, I forgot the name of the restaurant on the beach, that it was a review by the redheaded fairy tale maker of One was a review of the burnt pizza, and the other one was a review that this redheaded fairy tale maker that can't get anything right. He had something called chicken cordon bleu, and he didn't like it. So he talked about it being too salty. Who could eat this crap? While he was in the restaurant, he made the video. Instead of just letting it go, you got a bad meal. Tell the owner this has too much salt in it. Give me something else. No, he had to make these derogatory videos. And that's what Warren took and sent out to, I don't know how many people he sent it out to. He said he sent it out, Warren said he sent it out to the restaurant owners in the area where the redheaded fairy tale maker lived. So if he did that, it was the redheaded fairy tale maker in the video, doing the video about the poor quality of the food that was sent to the restaurants. At which point, according to Warren, I don't know because I never contacted the restaurant, according to Warren, he was no longer able or allowed to go into the restaurants after they saw these videos. So Warren did cause turmoil between the redheaded fairy tale maker and not only wasn't he allowed in those restaurants, but Warren said that he got banned from all the local restaurants because they don't want him in the establishment to make a bad video. So they just kicked him out when he walked in the door. That's what Warren said. I don't know if it's true or not. But I do know he made a video about the chicken cordon bleu having too much salt in it, bitching for 40 minutes about the redheaded, the too much salt in the chicken cordon bleu, and how many 2 or 3 videos, 7 or 8 minutes long, about the burnt pizza. Then he went back to the burnt pizza restaurant. He got a free meal out of that, and he wasn't even happy with that. I forgot why, so I won't say why. But this is what Warren did that. Warren did that. He did put those, but the redheaded fairy tale maker just forgot to tell you. He said Warren sent videos out about him. He forgot to tell you what was in the videos. What was in the video was the redheaded fairy tales maker's viewpoint about the restaurants, all negative. See, that's what the redheaded fairy tale, he made a bunch of bad reviews, and he got in trouble from the restaurateurs for making the bad reviews. And then no one wanted him in the restaurant anymore. Period. They don't want him in the restaurant. They don't want him to come back into their business and make crap reviews about their food. They don't want him here at all in the restaurants. He forgot to tell you that it was because of his bad reviews that's what happened. See, the guy lies about everything. Let's move on. I think we're up to lie number 80. We'll just call it number 80. Let's go.
Very limited. I really don't give a rat's ass if my channel gets taken off. I really don't.
That's a lie. He's always talked about building up his channel and becoming a powerhouse on YouTube. That's a lie. That's a lie. He cares about his channel. He cares about his subscribers. And when he had Super Chat, he told people, you Super Chat me, reach into your pockets, dig deep. I provide you with entertainment, which he does. You should pay me for the entertainment I provide you for, which you should. If that's what you consider entertainment, you should pay him for that. I agree. But he does care about his channel, and now he's freaking. 4 days he doesn't have a channel, anything on YouTube or Facebook. He must be crawling up the walls, not being able to talk crap about somebody, anybody. Let me talk something negative about somebody, anybody. Give me a platform to critique somebody, please, before I go out of my mind, is what he's saying right now. 4 days not having social media account. Must be driving the little fella crazy. Let me go back to see if there's any more comments. 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 When he was born, the doctor slapped his mom. He's a beta male, says Dave. Now, Dave, treasure hunt with Captain Dave, man. Dave and I, and his wife Agnes and I, and Daisy, we were friends for years. We are friends for years. And Dave is an alpha male. There's no doubt about that. Independent, mechanically inclined, a builder, and a go out and getter. Got a tractor. He got a backhoe. He's a good alpha male. He knows a beta male. That's true, Dave. Dave, are you still with me? Leave a comment if you're still with me, please. Leave a comment if you're still here. Let me go back to the... I'll come back to the comments in 1 minute to check to see if you're still here. Hold on a minute. I'm going to go back to the video.
Care. I'm on here on a song and a prayer. That's it.
That's true.
I don't care about how many subscribers I have.
That's a lie.
I'm not looking to make money,
That's
obviously.
a lie.
I don't need to make money.
That's
I'm not
a lie.
wealthy, but I'm not starving.
That's
I'm
a
doing
lie.
well.
That's a lie.
I don't need to depend on YouTube
That's a
for
lie.
my survival. I
That's
don't
a
need
lie.
that.
That's a lie.
Thank goodness for small miracles on that. But understand something. The truth sometimes has to be told. And this whole video I'm making now.
That's a lie. Coming up, big lie. We should jump from line number 80 to line number 8,000. He's got to tell the truth. This is a lie. He lies. A tender man, a narrowback. Now all he can do is stare at the walls in his closet and talk to a brother who hates him. That's true. Let's go back. I'm waiting for Captain Dave, man, to see if he's still here.
Now is for that purpose. Not only did Warren, come on over here, not only did Warren send out this material to the Facebook user in my town to try to destroy the reputation of my existence and my...
This is a big lie. All Warren did was send out the Bakakun Ka, red-headed fairy tale makers videos about the chicken cordon bleu with too much salt in it, which he made the biggest stink in the world. He even showed you the cordon bleu. He said, I ought to give this to the dog that was laying under the table. And the video about the pizzeria. He did this to himself. He did this to himself. Warren just sent out the videos that he made, negative reviews on the... Warren wasn't trying to destroy his reputation. Warren was showing the restaurateurs what a piece of work this guy is by showing his reviews. So we're up to line number 85. The Warren didn't do anything to him. He did it to himself by making the negative reviews and posting them publicly. This is where he gets everything twisted up.
My own community. This is how mean-hearted this bastard was.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Which failed, by the way.
No, it didn't.
Because we're well known in the community.
Oh, you are.
And people know us and they stand behind us.
That's bullshit.
So this guy, who was on Facebook and living in Santa Fe, got a hold of this information from Warren.
That's true.
Now, I forgot exactly how it was that he found this guy, but he did. And in the process, what he did was to say that there was a predator living in the community. Now, this guy didn't know any better, but he didn't understand the laws of Facebook and the law itself, that what you put on your Facebook page, you got to watch.
Now, I didn't know Warren at this time. I didn't know what he did with this, but I don't know anything about how he contacted the guy or what he sent the guy. So some of this could be true and some of it could be a lie. And how Warren could find this guy? There's Facebook pages for restaurants and things to do in the community. It's not hard to find somebody that lives in a community, but I don't know anything about how that happened.
That's what you do. As he wound up getting in big trouble as a result of Warren. Warren emphatically denies that he ever contacted anybody.
That's a lie.
It was Warren's writing.
Warren did contact people, and a lot of people. According to what Warren, when we were still talking, Warren took those videos and sent them out to all the local restaurants. That's a fact. Well, that's what Warren said he did. I didn't see it. So this guy, he has half the truth, again, making up half a story to supplement his half of the truthful lies that he puts on YouTube every day, day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out. The guy can't do anything but fabricate lies. Moving on.
An admittance by Warren himself to me. Yes, I did write that. It was from the police community page that he had put this information on.
That's true.
And see, he has last taken off about the past couple of weeks.
I don't know about that.
And in this information that was sent to the guy who lived in Santa Fe, he painted me as being this big predator.
I don't think Warren used the word predator. I don't remember Warren using that word, but if he says he did, it means nothing to me because he lied. He already is up to 82 lies, and we're only up to minute number 14. So he lied 82 times in 14 minutes. This could be a lie as well. He lies about everything.
You know, a scourge to the community.
Oh, that's true. Warren definitely probably used the word scourge.
He tried to ruin the reputation. This is how mean-ass this guy is.
How do you ruin the reputation of the world's greatest Bakakunka red-headed fairy tale maker? How do you ruin that kind of a reputation? How do you ruin that? Tell me how you ruin somebody's reputation when they've already ruined it themselves. How do you do that? How is that possible? I mean, really, how is it possible to ruin somebody's reputation that has 4,000 negative videos on YouTube that gets thrown off a social community? I'm just looking at something else that I got going on here. How do you ruin somebody's reputation that's known as the world's greatest Bakakunka red-headed fairy tale maker in the world? Let's move on. Lie number 84.
Is trying to ruin the reputation. Oh, but it gets better. Tune in here now. It gets better than that. Not only did Warren do that, by the way, I told you the story of what happened to this guy. He ruined somebody's life.
That's true. That guy apparently posted that crap on Facebook that Warren sent him. And I think this November, this month that we're in now, that guy has to go to trial. That's true. That part is true. That's because the red-headed fairy tale maker made such a stink about this, he brought the guy to court.
Is what he did. Warren puts out the most horrible exhibit of a human and
wait a minute. I thought that the island guy was the most horrible exhibit of a human. I thought that the great Barry Jordan was the most horrible example of a human. I thought that Dave is the most horrible example of a human. Who is it? Make up your mind.
Regards to what he tried to do to ruin my reputation.
You can't ruin somebody's reputation when they've already ruined it for themselves. That's an impossibility.
And my partners in my own community that I live in.
In his community? Ruin his reputation? Believe me, I don't believe that's possible. When I see the man walking down the street, when I saw him at the fiesta, I saw him walk around the fiesta with his camera in his hand and walk past 2,000 people. Not necessarily one-on-one, but there was 2,000 people that walked past him or walked in front of him or walked across his path or walked faster than him. Not a single person said hello until he got to the Zumba class, and 2 of the 6 or 7 girls in the Zumba class acknowledged that he was there. Nobody said good morning, how you doing, Hey, buddy, nobody did any of that. There isn't a single person in his community that doesn't know him, and there's not a single person in his community from the fiesta that said hello to him. I don't know how many people were there, but nobody said hello to him. Out of 2,000 people walking by, not one person. If I go to the fiesta, 500 people are going to say hello to me that day. But this guy had nobody. Why? I don't know. I have no idea. I just think they don't like him. That's what I believe. Moving on, more lies, number 87 coming up.
All right, the story gets better. Let's move on. The story gets better. In the process of doing so, he decided to take another step. He decided to find somebody in my own community in Hawaii. It gets better. And contact.
Okay, we're coming up on like 5 minutes of major lies. First of all, it was, to my knowledge, it was not Warren who contacted people in Hawaii. To my knowledge, it was not Warren. Okay? Because at this point, Warren and I had no social interaction with each other, but I've made it clear that at this time, where somebody did contact the red-headed fairy tale maker's neighbors, somebody left a message in the comments section of one of my videos that got spammed, that this was going to happen. In other words, somebody left a comment that got spammed because of the information he put in the comment, that somebody was going to distribute information in Hawaii about the red-headed fairy tale maker. I don't know who that was. I've always said that I got the spam mail, and then the next time I went to read it, it was gone. So whoever posted the comment took the comment down. I never found out who it was, but somebody did this, but I don't believe it was Warren, because Warren and I were not in contact with each other anymore. But he's making it Warren's fault because he doesn't know the truth. He made up a story. This is what he does. Line number 88 coming up.
Contacted somebody here. He's a great researcher. We'll give him that. Contacted somebody here and sent them pretty much the same kind of information, that you have a predator living in a community.
Now, this is bullshit, because he's going to go on to say that somebody sent a letter and thumb drives in the mail. Well, and that the person who sent it was in a different country. Well, you can't do that without signing your name on the envelope. So this is bullshit, this part of the video that's coming up.
That this guy's crazy, that this guy is this and that. And anyway, it got in the hands of somebody in the community who happened to be a big Facebook user, a big social media person, and we happen to know who this person is. It's turning against Warren, and in a big way.
Again, I doubt that it was Warren, because in order to send that crap through the mail, in today's world, you have to sign your name when you're sending packages to another country. So you'd have to show identification with your name, go to a post office, pay large sums of money, like from Australia to the Philippines. I don't know. I know that my credit card cost me $50 to send through the mail from America to here. A camera costs $72 to send from here to America. But a package that I wanted to get delivered to me for the machine, 5 ounces of seals for a piston, was $75 for 5 ounces of plastic seals. So it's expensive to send stuff from other countries to the Philippines. So I don't believe it was Warren. Warren wasn't about to spend all that money and put his name on a piece of paper. I just don't believe it was Warren. He makes this crap up as he goes along. He doesn't know who it was, so he blames the most likely subject, which is Warren, but it wasn't Warren in my opinion.
Big way. What happened here, and this is a story that hasn't been told, is being shared for the first time right now. He had sent a letter to somebody in our community, again, saying you got this predator, this and that, and so forth. And in the process, this local person did the same thing that the Facebook user did. He sent out this letter. A letter and, get this, and thumb drives to a number of people in my community, on my block.
No way I believe that part of the story. I just don't believe it. Doesn't make any sense. You still have to originally what the comment on my page was that the person was sending that crap from out of the country. But this guy is making it one of the local guys. Maybe one of the local guys got it and passed it on, but originally this stuff was supposed to have come from out of the country, which again goes back to signing a piece of a document with your name, and you're using your driver's license to send out the mail. Plus, it's a 7-year jail sentence to use the United States government in the commission of a felony. And this might be considered a felony, but you're not allowed to use the U.S. Postal Service or any postal service to commit a crime. So whoever sent that out is in jeopardy of committing a crime and going to jail for it. That's the truth.
This is how far Warren goes. I made a police report on this. It gets better than that. There's even another piece to the story. You guys.
Oh, wait. He made a police report on somebody sending out this derogatory shit, and yet he does this. That's why he got thrown off of Facebook, for the same type of derogatory statements that he made against other people. That's why his Facebook was taken down. That's why his YouTube was taken down, because he defames and slanders everybody on YouTube and Facebook. His accounts, but he made a report. It's okay for him to do it, but anybody else has to go to jail. That's the way this red-headed fairy tale maker believes.
You're going to be shocked hearing all of this stuff. And I'm going to tell you what Warren's all about. It gets better. It gets better. He has worked for me at one point. Okay? And I had fired this person from this position that I had given him because they weren't doing their job. This person saw an opportunity to get back to me. So when Warren contacted him...
This part of the story is so convoluted. I've heard 5 different versions. At first, it was his friend that got in trouble. Then it was his gardener that got in trouble. Now it's somebody that worked for him that was getting even with him. There's 5 different versions of how this occurred. Don't believe any of what you hear for the next 2 minutes.
Okay, with this letter, he distributed this letter with photographs and clips from my video.
Yeah, this is a gardener. This was the guy was supposed to be a gardener. This is a gardener who doesn't have a job, who works for him, as doing landscaping, if I remember correctly, went and got thumb drives and copies, and then everybody's address and mailed it out to the neighbor. A simple, poor Filipino gardener did all of this. Don't believe a word of it.
That was on thumbnail drives. Does this sound like something out of a crazy TV movie special? Well, this is real. It's as real as it fucking gets. And this letter was distributed to people on my block in this community. It was brought to my attention by the very person who distributed it. How coinky-dinky is that? How interesting is that? And I've had neighbors who received this letter and this thumb drive. Yeah, actually paid for a thumb drive too. And of course, we approached these people and
wait a
told them
minute.
what was going on.
Okay, now we're talking about a guy in Hawaii that worked for him. Okay, that's a different story. He has no proof. That's a different story. There's a similar story in the Philippines. This is a different story. I got the two stories mixed up. The guy in Hawaii that supposedly transferred this information to other people, that didn't happen either. So I know who that is. And there's no way I would believe that guy went through all this trouble. I believe somebody else did it, and he's blaming the guy that used to work for him. See, he has so many people that dislike him. It could be anybody. But the guy who he used to work for him that he fired, that's not even a true story. But anyway, the guy who supposedly worked for him did not go through all the trouble to pass this around with thumb drives. Somebody else did that from another country. That's what was sent to me in the mail, and that's the comment that was deleted from my YouTube comments page. But so he's making this up to blame a special person that could have done it, but there's no proof that the guy did it.
Going on, so everything got cleared out of that. But I had to make a police report on this. It was really necessary. And they used the U.S. Post Office to do this.
That's true.
Which I also approached the postal officials of the town and told them what was going on. Warren has committed so many crimes that you would think this was a fictitious story. You would think that this is totally made up.
No.
This can't be made up.
Not a fictitious story. Only 88 lies in 19 minutes. Not fictitious. There were 25 or 30 truths in this. It's just 3-1 lies. This is what the guy does. This is what a good liar does. They introduce some truth and then some lies. But this guy is believable. This guy does this. His whole life has perfected the art of deception. His entire life is based on one deception after another. Let's go back. We're up to 89 lies.
You see this? That's the person who received the letter. Okay, right there. And we're not...
He can't prove that. Supposedly, everybody within a certain area of his house got a letter. That could be true that the guy received the letter, but it can't prove that that's the guy that disseminated the information. This is what I mean. He makes crap up as he goes along.
Not exactly friendly with that person right now because we do believe it was him. He's the one that first gave it to us, Coinky Dinky.
So somebody gave it to you. So he becomes the culprit? This is the sick mentality. Maybe the guy gave it to you as a friend, yet he has to make a scapegoat. This red-headed fairy tale maker has to have a scapegoat in his story. This is his life's work. It's what he does.
Okay, so you can imagine why we believe that, okay? That's how far Warren gets. But wait a minute, it gets better.
It wasn't Warren, you moron. It was somebody else altogether, and you know that.
Is this the same Warren you think you knew? Do you remember I had my neighbor's kid?
Oh, this is going to be the ultimate. This is going to put this guy into a world of hurt one day because he talks about the Mushroom Man song being an innocent little chant. That is an absolute lie. There isn't a single person that's ever heard the Mushroom Man song being sung to a child that thinks it's normal. Not one. Not one. Let me look at you. Let me look at you. Not a single person that has ever heard him singing the Mushroom Man song to an 8-year-old boy believes it's an innocent thing that was done. Not one person. Nobody. Nobody across the board. People that like him think that what he did was wrong. Everybody knows that what he did was wrong. By talking about the Mushroom Man as an innocent Mushroom Man song, everybody knows that was wrong. Everybody knows it's wrong. Nobody that has ever been contacted and shown that video thinks it's normal. Nobody. No authority, no street person, no normal person would ever come to the conclusion that that was innocent, what he did. What he did is to be decided whether or not it was innocent or not innocent. But nobody that I've ever talked to believes what he did was something a normal person would do. Okay, we'll leave it at that for legal purposes. But the Mushroom Man song and talking to an 8-year-old child about the Mushroom Man and in the way he did, nope, sorry. Nobody's going to say that that was an innocent song you talked about to the child. Nobody. You're lying, and this is what he does. And then he backtracks and he goes, well, you know, sometimes I've said some things that are off color. That is more than off color. That is borderline legal. Okay? We'll just call it borderline legal. What you did was, in my opinion, wrong, and everybody else's opinion wrong, and we're going to find out if it was legal one day or not. That's yet to be determined. But you lie about that as well, because you know you screwed the pooch. And was that song reported to the police the day of the song? Yes, it was, but not by Warren H. The police report exists? Yes, it does, but it cannot be brought back to Warren H. This is what the guy lies about. He stopped short, coming up now, he stopped short of saying where the child lived when the police went to his house. You're going to see he completely bypasses who the African-American boy was and where the boy lived. Well, we made a big joke about it and the police went away. That's what he says. But did he say to the police, you can go interview the boy? He lives right there? No. He didn't do that. See, he could have exonerated himself by saying, the boy lives right there. That's where the boy lives. Go talk to the boy. Go talk to the boy's mother. But he didn't do that. He made a big joke about that there's no African-American boy here in the yard and we don't know what he's talking about. When he could have exonerated himself 100%, said, there's where the boy lives, right there, that door right there. We're all in the same property. That boy lives at that door right there. Go ask the boy. He didn't do that. He didn't do that. He did not tell the police to go knock on that door and ask the child. That's why he didn't do it, because he knows that that probably wouldn't have been a good thing. So he leaves out half the story, and the half that is the truth he leaves out. That's the half he leaves out. The rest of it, that he was laughing with the police, I don't believe that. I don't believe the police told him that the phone call came from another country. I don't believe the police gave him any part of privileged information without a court order. And that's what he says, though. Listen to the next 5 minutes, and you'll see that his story doesn't hold water. If he was in the yard with the police and said, there's no African-American boy here, sir, but you can check, there's one that lives over there. Ask him if I did what they say I did. He didn't do that. He left that part out. Why? I don't know why. We're going to find out, though. All right, we're back to the videotape. The videotape. Tape, moron. Anyway, go back to the videotape and let's go. Listen to this carefully.
Listen to this. Do you remember I had my neighbor's kid? And he was in the background. And he happens to be African American. And I was having a live show here in Hawaii. And we were joking about the Mushroom Man. It was all innocent. He had no idea what the hell I was talking about, what a mushroom was and anything like that. Except it sounded like a cute song. The Mushroom Man, the Mushroom Man. It was just a cute song. That's all it was. Now, what he did was, this motherfucker, this cocksucker, this mentally deprived psychopath calls the police department and says that
Again, it was not Warren H. that called the police department. He's making this up as he goes along because he doesn't have facts to put into place.
I was harboring an African American child in my home. Can you believe this shit? Look, this is a lesson to show you.
And yet he doesn't tell the police to go ask the African American boy that's only 20 feet from where they're standing. That's where the door is to where the African American boy lives.
People how far things can go and how things can get really out of control when you're dealing with sick people like Warren H. And I had police come by my house. Said, we had a report that you had a African American child here. I said, what?
Notice he doesn't say the boy lives right there. Go interview him. Why? Why didn't he just say go talk to the boy? He didn't want the police talking to the boy for a very good reason. He knows what he did was wrong.
My tenants have to be African American, and the kid had to be a good kid. And he came over and he had fun. He had fun talking on my live stream. He was having fun, and he didn't know anything about what Mushroom Man meant. So when we sang the Mushroom Man song, he had no clue what that was, except we were having fun. So Warren decided, let me find another way to get Frank. This is a true story, guys. I'm not...
Oh, line number 90, 91, 92, 93, 94. Come on. It wasn't Warren. You could have told the police the African-American boy lives in that door. He says the African-American boy was in the background. In the background when he was making a video, but not in the background while the police were there. He kind of insinuates that, and then he repeats 3 times, we were just having fun. We were, as to make you believe a false narrative. This is what this sick little red-headed fairy tale maker does.
I'm not kidding you here. This just goes to show you how far people can go that don't like you. For whatever reason they deem or decide that they don't like you. He did this. This is a true grit here. This is not made up.
Again, line number 93, it was not Warren.
The story I'm telling you. This is how... No, don't eat that. This is how true...
Line number 95, this is how true it's not true.
I'm depicting the story of a fucking madman here. How far people will go to try to ruin your life. So you wonder why...
How can you ruin somebody's life if you're using their own material that they made on YouTube against them as evidence that they've ruined their own life? How do you do that? Line number 96.
I'm not that dedicated to YouTube and don't give a shit about how many subs I have.
Line number 97.
Or trying to make a career out of it on here.
Line number 98.
Because you have people out here that are so sick in the fucking head that it's incomprehensible. You can't...
Oh my God, he destroys the English language. Incomprehensible? What a freaking nightmare of an understanding of the English language. He butchers the English language from day one. His education can't be any better than 6th or 7th grade English. Can't be. Math, 4th grade math at best.
Comprehend this stuff. It's but
comprehend. Let's just go back. Comprehend. I know what he wanted to say. Comprehend, but he used comprehend. It's not even a word. You can't even find it in the English diction.
It's comprehend. You can't comprehend this stuff. It's
comprehend. You can't comprehend the English language.
But it's real. So the police came over and had a good laugh about it, actually.
You had a laugh with the police that you had possibly abducted an African-American child? I doubt that.
Actually.
Line number 99.
No, this is coming from YouTube. I said, well, where did the phone call come from? He goes, it was out. They said it was out of the country.
Line number 100, the police are not going to give him that information.
So they got the number on record. It was out of the country. And it was Warren.
Lie number
It was Warren
100.
that did this.
Lie number 100. It was not Warren. Warren doesn't have the ability to do that.
He went that far. Your buddy Warren, the old hero of YouTube, the guy who's suffering from fourth stage cancer, which he probably never had. Never worked as a police officer.
That's true.
Never.
That's true.
His family never died in a car crash.
That's
he had
true.
you all bamboozled.
That's true.
Even up to his death, people were believing that he really died.
That's true.
And he was paying people off, such as Barry and the other girl, to
That's
say
true. That's true.
that he was dead.
That's true.
This is a sick, sick bastard.
That's
Now,
true.
let this be a lesson. Let this be a lesson to what I just told you on how far people will go
That's true.
on YouTube if they don't like you. And when I say that the community is sick, I say that with a passion.
That's true.
And this is just one example.
That's true.
Now, he destroyed somebody's life.
That's true.
The guy from Facebook, he
That's
destroyed
true. That's true.
his life.
That's
is what
true.
he did.
That's true.
Because the guy had to move out of the town,
That's
hide
true.
from the law.
That's true.
His nursing girlfriend
That's true.
had to quit her job in
True.
the town.
True. True. True.
They moved over to another town. But
True. 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 True.
through
True.
my efforts
True. True.
and through the cooperation of my cybercrime officer,
True. 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 True.
who's been a wonderful help for me in
True.
many
True.
ways,
True. True. True.
in
True.
ways that many of you don't know
True.
and probably won't know until it happens.
True. True.
Found him in another town
True.
and arrested this bastard.
That's true.
Okay? This is the bastard that lived in Santa Fe.
That's true.
That Warren contacted.
That's true.
Well, it didn't work out the way Warren wanted it to
That's
work
true.
out.
That's true.
Because the guy tried to hide. He had to uproot himself from his restaurant,
That's true.
his girlfriend's job,
That's
to go
true.
into hiding.
That's true.
But he couldn't hide.
True. True. True.
Because through my little operatives,
True.
and there are operatives.
That's true.
And you might joke at that word.
That's true.
I do have operatives.
That's true.
I have more information that you people would have no fucking idea.
That's true.
about
That's true.
most of
That's
the people
true.
who have
That's
harassed
true.
me on
That's true.
YouTube. You
That's
have
true.
no fucking
That's
clue.
true. That's true.
You probably won't.
That's true.
But he had to uproot his life. He got arrested, had to post bail.
That's true.
Bail.
That's true.
And he has a trial coming up that's going
That's-
to decide
That's true.
what's going on with him. He's going to be thrown out of the country,
That's true.
put in jail,
That's
or
true.
whatever it is,
That's
or
true.
fined very heavily,
That's true.
which I will benefit from.
Ah, wait. Notice how he said he will benefit if the guy gets fined, which was his whole intention to begin with. Bring him to court, and basically, the court are going to fine the guy, and he's going to benefit monetarily wise. Where he should not be able to benefit monetarily wise. How does he benefit monetarily wise? If he pays a fine, it should be for the court fees, not to the red-headed fairy tale. So I don't know if that's true or not. But we're up to line number 100. Apparently I missed 2 or 3 because we're almost done. My fault. Sorry about that. Let's move on.
This is what happened. This is a true story.
Up, that's line number 101. Line number 101. Line number 101.
And how one man's psychopathy, sociopathy, so bad that he went to that length to try to get even with somebody he never fucking met.
What the hell does that have to do with somebody you never met? People, 50 or 60 million people vote for one president, candidate or the other. They've never met the candidate. In the United States, they vote for senators, they vote for governors. They've never met these people. What the hell does it have to do whether or not you met somebody? He uses this line all the time. It's not a valid point. The guy lies. So because Warren never met him, Warren can't tell you the truth about him, even though Warren was lying about a lot of stuff that he did. That's not the point. You can't say, how can you ridicule somebody that you've never met? Well, so you never met the guy, but he's lied 50,000 times on social media. He's a liar. What do you have to meet the guy for? To have him lie to your face? This is nonsense. So we're up to line number 101. We've got 2 more. I remember there were 103 when I started.
Never fucking met. To be this evil, to be this hateful.
Oh, my God.
This is an example how things could get out of control
That's true.
on YouTube. And I know you're probably scratching your head saying, you've got to be fucking kidding me.
That's true. You've got to be kidding you. Who could fit over 100 lies in a 31-minute video? Who could do it other than the red-headed fairy tale storyteller? Who could put 100+ lies in a 31-minute video? Who could do that? Could do that? No normal human being could lie 100 times in 31 minutes. And yet this guy has managed times in 31 minutes. Yet this guy has managed to do exactly that. Let's go back to the story. It's going to end soon.
Somebody actually did something like that? Yeah, they did. Warren H. Oh, there's a few accomplices in there with...
That's true. A few accomplices. Every single person that hates the red-headed fairy tale maker has probably participated in one way or another to destroy his reputation, or rather bring to light of day what he really is in real life. He's a real-life stalker on Facebook and YouTube. He really did stalk me when they asked somebody to call up the restaurant that I blog from to have me thrown out of the restaurant. That is stalking. Whether he did it or whether somebody that said that they did it, who's also friends with him on his YouTube page that's now gone, but they are friends. In fact, talking about stalking, this red-headed fairy tale maker, there's a video out there where he asked a guy named Richie Buong and the Fat Slob that he's going to retire from trying to destroy my reputation, but it's now he's passing the baton to Richie Buong and the Fat Slob to go after me with videos and whatever they could do, joke videos, comedy videos, taking excerpts from my videos. He asked them, I'm passing the baton to you. That's stalking. This is what he does.
There, I don't talk about that. Okay, there was a few accomplices on this. But this is a true story what actually happened.
That's lie number 102. It's not a true story. It would have to be all truth to be a true story. Lie number 102 about what actually happened. That's the 102nd lie.
Warren will never be welcome in the Philippines if he could ever make it here.
That's true.
And yes, he did use the island guy.
That's true.
The whole time.
That's true.
It had to do with friendship.
That's true.
The same as he wanted to be friendly with me, because you know how it is. Keep your enemies close.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Keep your friends close.
Yeah.
But also to
yeah.
Thing I say all the time is
famous. You made it famous, right?
Here we go. Excuse me.
The only thing famous about you is when you went after your neighbor with the shovel weapon. But let's move on.
Is to form an alliance with somebody that will side with you against your enemy. This is what he was doing. And yes, Warren did give me some money. He did. He was trying to buy me off. And at one point, believe me, he wanted something very bad to happen to the island guy.
This is the part that I don't believe. Why would Warren put it in Skype messages that he wants to have me killed and he wants the fairy tale guy to help him carry this out? Why would Warren do that? Warren is not willing to go to jail for the rest of his life to do that. Maybe the fairy tale guy, inside his head, he wanted this to happen, and there was some conversation of it, but I don't believe that it was Warren that initiated it. That is lie number 103. Here we go. Listen to this carefully.
He really did. This is a true fact.
That's a lie.
Although he turned it around on me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, you see? See, he told you half the story. It was probably the fairy tale guy's fantasy to have something bad happen to me, and he needed money from Warren to do it, and there was some sort of conversation between them, possibly. I don't have privy to the information. It never happened. So if Warren wanted it to happen, Warren had the money to make it happen. So I don't believe it was Warren that wanted this to happen. I believe there was a conversation about it, but I don't believe Warren initiated the conversation. I believe the fairy tale guy, in his fantasy world of his fantasy mind, of his fantasy brain, of his fantasy reality, he may have thrown this at Warren and somehow entrapped Warren to talking about it in Skype. And those messages are still there, but nothing ever happened. And I don't believe that it was Warren initiated it. I just don't believe it. Warren was a lot of things, but to go out and commit something that would put him in jail forever, see, you have to be a sick, demented... Well, wait a second. Wait a second. That fits the both of them. Okay, scratch that. Back to go. Go back. Delete that. Anyway, I don't believe it was Warren's idea. Let's move on. This is lie number 103. It's a long lie.
There was no extortion going on. None of that. All of that was total fucking bullshit. This is a man with one of the sickest minds on YouTube.
That's true.
It has to be the sickest.
That's false. We don't know if anybody's sicker than Warren. We only know of someone that runs a runner-up as a number 2 in sickness. That would be the red-headed fairy tale maker. But we don't know that there isn't a sicker person, but there must be somewhere out there waiting, stalking, waiting for his turn in YouTube land, for the YouTube history to be recorded in forevermore.
But this is the fact of the story that I'm telling you.
Oh, the facts.
How far a sick person will go to try to get revenge against somebody.
That's true. And we're still talking about lie number 103. There's truth, there's lies, there's deceit, there's bakakun. It's all wrapped up in one.
He wanted me to join him in an effort against the island guy to do things that you would not believe. He did use the island guy as the island guy did use him. So basically, tit for tat. They used each other. The island guy used him to make money because he thought he was a poor sap. Wait.
Oh, that's lie number 104. I never used Warren. He offered to be my partner. He offered me the money for the computer. He offered me the money for the super chat. I never begged him for anything. There's not a single quote in Skype. There's not a single video where I ever asked Warren for anything. There is zero proof that the red-headed fairy tale maker is telling you the truth right now. Zero. I never asked Warren for money. He wanted to be my partner. He had to give me money to become my partner, to own the second floor. He wanted to give me money for a computer so I could get onto that other platform. I forgot what it was. It had nothing to do with me begging Warren. It was all offered as friendship and future partnership. This is lie number 104.
And, of course, Warren used him for companionship, somebody to talk to. In fact, my conversations with Warren was as such that he wanted to develop a relationship with me and my partner. He wanted to meet us someday and take us to dinner. He really wanted friendship, which proved that he was a very...
I could say why Warren wanted to meet him one day, but I can't prove it. But believe me, it was not to have dinner with this guy. I could tell you that Warren wanted a lot of things in life, but to have dinner with him, I think it was a little bit more than that.
Really a very lonely man. And this is a fact. And that's why he conversed so much with the island guy. I mean, they spent hours and hours and hours. Is this not beautiful, by the way? Yeah.
Oh, by the way, what he calls beautiful are a bunch of nice-looking flowers with a view of nothing from his house. Nothing. You look at flowers, you look at trees, you look at shrubs. No life. There's nobody else there. There's no human interaction. When I look outside my window, I see 200 or 300, 400 people pass my house on the weekend. I have children laughing. I see my neighbors having parties. Sometimes I participate, sometimes I don't. Say hello to them. I go over and chat with them. This guy has no life, no view of anything. He looks at flowers. How often does he go out there and look at flowers? How he doesn't interact with anybody. When did you ever see him interact with anybody, any American or foreigner, ever? In the Philippines, did he ever interact with that Italian guy that was supposed to be his friend in real life? Did you ever see him? No. Did he ever interact with anybody other than the Zumba class? I never saw anybody. This guy is such a fraud in so many different ways. Moving on.
It's my sanctuary for a long time.
Yeah.
And this is a story that may be kind of hard to digest, but nevertheless, it is a true story.
Again, lie number 105. It's not a true story. If everything isn't true, then the story isn't true.
And as such, I hope you're...
You see how he has to keep saying it's a true story? I bet you he said it 20 times. That something or other in the story was true. He has to back it up with saying it's a true story because he knows it's not true. He's a liar. He's a Bakakun Ka specialist.
You're learning something about somebody that maybe you thought different about, but maybe now you understand what has been going on this whole time.
Yeah, maybe.
The truth had to come out and had to...
Again, the truth. Liar. Bakakun Ka man, pants on fire, liar.
...to be told on here. Let's go visit Frank's famous tree here. There it is. It's grown quite a bit since the original Mactan drama.
That was a major lie in his YouTube career, but we'll just call that lie number 106.
There we go. I stood right here. Cool or what? That's a target box for doing a little archery around here. And this is going to be some gourds growing here. Was this a lot for you to absorb in one video? I realize
106 lies is a lot for anybody to absorb in 31 minutes. Are you serious, dude?
it is. Believe me, I do. But this is all factual. I wouldn't make this shit.
Again, this is the truth. This is factual. 107 lies in 30 minutes. Give us a break.
It up. I wouldn't spend the time to do it if it wasn't true.
Oh, God.
War
Again,
has become the biggest
108 lies in 29 minutes.
troll on YouTube, bar none. People don't realize that what they do can have effect on them. Warren will never be able to enter this country. There's too much.
He talks about this country as if he was in the Philippines. The idiot forgets he's in Hawaii.
Against him. Even the police over here have his number on record that did come from Australia. And
That's a lie. That is a lie. The phone call did not come from Australia.
there were a police report that was made here in regards to the letter that was put out to the community. Not only was the information given out to where I lived in Santa Fe, but information given out to the community that I live in at the moment because of the immigration here in Hawaii. Yes, a human has gone.
It's not because of immigration in Hawaii, you moron. It's because of the Philippines and immigration. He gets everything twisted in his twisted little mind.
Gone that far to try to destroy the life and reputation of somebody that is innocent.
Oh my God, lie number 109. He's innocent. He just posted 109 lies in 30 minutes, and he's innocent. Holy macaroni.
It doesn't matter. This is how far people will go. I hope you learned something from this. Maybe you all should take a little advice from this. Don't get carried away with what you do on YouTube, because you could have a way of getting back to you in a way that you don't like.
You mean like that you got thrown off of social media this week from Facebook? You got thrown off and both your YouTube accounts were terminated for hate speech? You mean They could have a way to coming back like bad karma on your social media page. Is that what you mean? I guess that's what he meant. So, let's go to my comments. Okay, let's see. We have some comments. He has a good view of the lava flow. Hey, Jack, it definitely was not Warren. It wasn't Warren. You guys, what are you? You want to bet me $10,000 that it wasn't Warren? Hey, Freud, bet me $10,000 it wasn't Warren. You say it's Warren, I say it's not. Bet me $10,000. For $10,000, you'll find out the truth. Or I'm going to lose $10,000. Freud, you lie about everything. It was not Warren that sent out that information from Australia. That information didn't even come from Australia. You lie about everything. You just you fill in the blanks with bologna and cheese, dude. Jack, why don't you answer the phone, by the way? I've been calling you for days. My buddy, my friend Jack. Jack. Okay, so, Andrew, there we have it. Michael set the record straight about the two of the biggest liars in the world. Case closed. Yeah, so now I'll go back to talking normal. Okay, so you guys, I hope, well, first of all, I never did anything like this before. It took a long time. I don't know that I'll ever do it again. But number one, I know exactly who sent the information. I'll never tell you. Okay? Number two, I know exactly who made the phone call, but I'll never tell you. I know exactly that the police would never give out the information of who made the phone call to him, whether it came from in-country or out of country. Police don't give out that kind of detail. Number three. Number four, it wasn't Warren that sent out letters and thumb drives. It was somebody else altogether. And for $10,000, I don't think I would tell you. I don't think I would give you the name. But, tempt me. Throw $10,000 into my PayPal. I might be able to be coerced. But you couldn't do anything about it anyway. Because all they sent out was a letter with your videos on the thumb drive. So even if you sent me $10,000 into my PayPal, and you did find out who sent it, which would be easy enough to do, you moron. All you have to do is get one original letter with the letter and the envelope that the letter and the thumb drive came in, and trace it back to a post office of its origin. You're a moron, dude. Any one envelope from any person in your community that has the envelope will have a post office stamp with a serial number telling you the post office that it was mailed from and the time it was mailed and who mailed it, because you have to give your driver's license to send international mail. So it wasn't Warren, but it would be easy enough to find out who did if you had some resources. And if you really want to know who did it, tempt me. Put $10,000 in my PayPal. You are such a liar. You lie about everything. Now, it was not Warren whose idea it was to have me killed. I don't believe that. I believe that you may have discussed it with him, throw the idea around, and maybe try to get Warren to give you money for that. And that's possible because that's what I heard directly from Warren. But I don't believe it was Warren's idea. Anyway, you lied. We had 109 lies. That was just off the top of my head. when they were, you have no, you are the person that got thrown off of social media this week for hate speech. You don't get your YouTube account terminated for hate speech, not two accounts in the same week for talking blah 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 or insinuating something. No, you went further. You talked about going to visit Barry's new house, and let's give him a warm greeting by throwing something at his house. Dude, that's a death threat that you did. You perpetrated a death threat. And then the other one where you used the carpet knife and depicted what you want to do to a certain person on YouTube, that's a death threat. You formulated death threats on your account, and you got thrown off of YouTube for those death threats. And there were many. You also showed somebody's children and where they lived and where they worked. That's doxing. You're not allowed to do that. And on Facebook, do you want me to tell you who you were talking to on Facebook? And what you said to that person on Facebook? I know what you said. I have a copy of the whole entire conversation. I told you, there are people that keep a dossier on you, moron, and it's in the files. All of the words that you posted on Facebook for a certain amount of time that goes back in time is all in a file. I'll read you one sentence of it, okay, just to let you know I'm not lying to you about this. I'll prove it to you. Wait, Flying Circus. When I stopped at Jack's house, he was on the roof, so I helped Jack off. I think Jack is in the basement with a bottle. That's what I think. I think Jack did not stop drinking alcohol. I believe he stopped smoking cigarettes, but I think he's having a little bit more back pressure on the alcohol. I think he can't answer the phone. I think because he can't talk. Yeah, I remember back in the day, I would go to somebody's house that was supposed to be working and they didn't show up and they wouldn't answer the door. They wouldn't open up the door because they were drunk. Anyway, I don't know that Jack is drunk, but he ain't answering the phone for now 2 weeks. So I think Jack is having more problems stopping the alcohol than the cigarettes. Now, let me go find those Facebook, let me find the Facebook. Let me make sure you're not seeing this, okay? Let me find the dossier on Facebook. We have a completed dossier, hundreds and hundreds of pages. But I can't show that to you. Okay, so the last thing that was posted is your looks like YouTube killed the account. That's one of the last things. This video has been removed for violating YouTube's terms. Okay, and we all know that. Let's go to the next one. Okay, we have screenshots of what you said. Okay, so I'm going to give you the last screenshot. I'm going to just say a few words from the last thing that you said to somebody, and let's see if you remember this. Okay, this one is to. Nope, that's not the one I want. Okay, let's just minimize that. Oop, let's go back over here. We're close, though. We're close. Yeah. See, I don't know that I should do this, but does it's raining again. It hasn't stopped raining here in on and off for weeks. There's a person here, okay, that refused to believe. You are such a trip, dude. Everything that you've ever said on Facebook has been recorded and documented. And to each person that you said it. So you tried to get somebody to go to the local authorities. I'm not going to quote. You tried to get somebody to go to the local authorities. Well, I have to open up the original because I can see it better. Okay, open the original. Okay. We all have screenshots, but the screenshots are hard to read. Okay. Okay, I'm going to just read one sentence. A brief conversation that did not go well. He was sharing videos from YouTube with me suggesting that you are a criminal. Do you remember? Do you remember seeing that? We'd have to go back again. And what this was is the guy who got his Facebook account taken down was trying to prove with a silhouette of a girl, no identification, no birth certificate, no driver's license, no government ID. He was trying to prove that the girl in a video was underage, and he was trying to prove that to somebody in Mole, okay, and the person wasn't buying it. Does that ring a bell there, Mr. Bakaku and Carman, Mr. Fairy Tale Story Maker Man? And when that person didn't agree that was definitive proof that the girl in the video was underage, you lost your mind. You lost your mind. You cursed at her. It was a woman. You cursed profanities one right after the other, and then you wished harmful things that would happen to them, and then the conversation didn't end, but that's what you did. So because somebody didn't believe you, because you didn't have valid proof, you lost your mind in the Facebook page. That was reported to Facebook. And that's why your channel got taken down, because of that conversation. Because of what you said to that person, that you tried to convince that was an underage girl in a video. You did that to yourself. You claimed that somebody was with an underage woman, which declares them to be a potential pedophile. You called somebody a potential pedophile with no proof, and they got mad at a third party that wouldn't go along with your nonsense. Maybe that's why your video got taken down, your channel got taken down on Facebook. We have it all documented. If that wasn't it, it was the letter before that. If it wasn't the letter before that, it was the letter to the other person that you talked to. You did this to yourself. If you didn't scream and curse at this woman, why don't you believe me? She doesn't have to believe you. You have to prove. You're insinuating that someone is a pedophile. You have to be able to prove that. And apparently Facebook said, no. With all these complaints, this is the cherry on top of the cake that broke the camel's back. Adios, Mr. Red-headed fairy tale maker. Now, that was the last thing that you posted on Facebook that we know about. So that may have been, plus you went and doxed somebody's children where they worked. You said that somebody was married with no proof of them being married. You lie about everything. You have committed so many atrocities on YouTube that your Facebook and your YouTube channel got taken down for hate speech and lies and deceits and half-truths. It's what you do. But nobody took you down. You took yourself down with the derogatory crap that you posted on Facebook. Now, I could read the whole letter to the woman, You demanding that she goes to the police and the authorities. You demanding. I am telling you, you have, and then you accused her in that letter of possibly being siding with a child molester. You accused her of siding with a possible child molester, but you didn't use the word possible. You accused her of that. So you accused her of a criminal act with no proof. Your channel got taken down because you go around accusing people with no proof of criminal activities. You have no proof that the girl was underage, and you have no proof that she is trying to harbor a potential criminal. Just, of course, verbally in Facebook. But you did this to yourself. If you didn't write all those Facebook accounts, chat messages in Facebook, your channel would still be up. Your Facebook page would still be up. And then you lied about it and said that your Facebook page was down because you signed in under a different email. That's nonsense, dude. You could sign in under Facebook. You could sign in under Google. You could sign in under different YouTube accounts. You could sign in under Google Chrome. Facebook knows all your information. They're not going to take your Facebook page down because you signed in underneath another valid name. You lied about that too. And then you told that girl, don't worry, my Facebook page, does this ring a bell here, dude? Don't worry, my Facebook page will be up tomorrow. And that was 4 days ago and it's still not back up. Dude, you lie about everything. You want me to read it? I could, I won't, but I'm telling you that everything that you've done has been documented. And people could believe me or not. I don't give a shit. It makes no difference to me whether they believe me. I'm not here. I don't need people to believe me. I'm a self-made man. I don't need people to believe me. I don't need people to come to my channel. I don't need thumbs up. You never hear me say thumbs up my videos because I don't give a shit about any of that. My videos are going to get 150 views, 175 views if I put out the best content on YouTube or I put out garbage. YouTube got me in a box. I'm never going to get more than 175 views on a video. Ain't never going to happen. I don't ask people to subscribe. I don't ask people to thumbs up the video. I don't ask people to share the video. I don't ask people to comment. I don't give a crap. I don't want you to comment. I used to get 3,000 comments a month on my videos on my other channel. What do I need to spend 3,000 minutes a month talking to people I don't know? I want you to not comment. I don't want you to comment. I don't care about your way. I care about you if you care about my PayPal. I care about you if you super chat me. I care about you if you've helped me with information of how to adjust a carburetor. Something simple like that goes a long way. Mickey Mason and Concerned Expat, they both helped me with the adjustments on the coil and the carburetor on my Still Street Saw. That makes you my friend. That makes us have a common ground. But all you other people with a fake-ass channel name and no way to know who you are or where you live or what you really do, I don't care about you people. I don't care about you at all. I never cared about you, and I'm never going to care about you. I don't need people to come to my Facebook page to compliment me. I haven't posted anything on Facebook. Gotta be, I don't know. Daisy and I broke up 2.5 years ago. I don't think I ever posted anything on Facebook again. Maybe one video I think I remember posting something for a friend of mine. I don't post on Facebook because I don't give a shit about Facebook. And I sure don't care if you give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I don't know how many people, 21 people watching here, and I only see 3 or 4 of my friends commenting because everybody else is going to get blocked. I don't know who you are. I don't want to know who you are. I don't want your opinion on my page. Just watch, enjoy the show, make fun of me. I don't even care that the Slob and Richie make fun of me in their videos. I don't care about that. And I'm going to say it again for the Slob and for Richie. I have never, ever not one time ever flagged your channel. Ever. Never happened. Never did happen. Never going to happen. Don't care. I don't care that you post that crap about me on your channel. It doesn't matter to me. And not only that, I wouldn't take the time to do it. And not only that, it wouldn't do any good anyway. Now, I'll tell you one thing, Richie. You have 4 videos up that YouTube sent me. All the people that have ever used my videos anywhere on the YouTube platform, it said that these following videos have been using your copyrighted material. What do you want to do? And then it gives you a list. I don't know, the last list was 15, 18 videos. And I just dismissed the page. I don't even read it. I don't care. But there were a few of yours that I could have flagged for copyright purpose. I don't care what you put up about me. I don't give a shit. You think I do? You're gonna pay me for all the putrid shit you put on YouTube when I meet you in person. I don't need anything from you now. I don't need to flag your channel. You're gonna pay me when I meet you in person, and so is the slob. You're gonna pay your fair share of what you've said and talked about me in real life. It's gonna come out in the wash, so to speak. I don't give a shit what you say on YouTube. The slob is a troll. You're a troll. Doesn't really affect me. Now you got another guy in there. Don't see another troll, celebrity trolling. I know that what you were doing with, but you guys crossed the line. And when I see you, I'm going to make you aware that you crossed the line. I can't do anything about it. I don't try to do anything about it in the meantime. But you know what the deal is. You know what's going to happen. You know that. Don't be naive, dude. Don't be naive. It's why you keep yourself so in the shadows. You'll never let anybody know who you are, where you live, or anything like that. And the slob is never going to come here. And if he does, it would be surprise to me. Not that I care, because you have no idea. I don't care. I don't care that you make videos. I don't care that he comes. But you people, I don't care about the thumbs up. I don't care about the thumbs down. I don't care about the view counts. I do this because I want to do it. I had somebody, until 4 days ago, flagging every one of my videos. A normal live stream with no cursing, no critiquing of any other person or channel, nothing at all, no bad words, no negativity. And when I put the monetization sign on, YouTube said this video is not eligible for AdSense, but you can continue making money through YouTube Red. You make money from it, just don't. There's no ads playing on it. And then it said you can challenge this decision and do a manual review on the video. So I did a manual review on 11 videos so far, and 7 of them have become monetized. So 7, and of the 4 that didn't become monetized, there's nothing in those other 2 that there should be not monetizable. I can't find anything in the video. I don't know, and I don't care. I really don't know, and I really don't care. But I don't care about thumbs up. I don't care about comments. I don't care about you subscribing. I don't care about any of that stuff. I will care about somebody standing across the street and telling me they're going to threaten me with a bullhorn. That would probably be something I would care about. But until that happens, I don't walk around looking over my shoulder, and I never will. I walk through the streets of Tagbilaran. I walk in the back streets behind the ICM Mall. I walk in the back streets behind the BQ Mall. I go into the commercial areas to get stuff done at machine shops and welding shops and looking for different types of things that I need in junkyards and stuff. I walk into the junkyard into a building 75, 100 feet deep into a building by myself looking for junk. Anything could happen to me. I'm not a paranoid guy. I'm just not a paranoid guy. I could be robbed. I could be, or worse yet, but I'm not paranoid. And when I walk in, I know that things could happen to you when you walk into a building alone. I'm not a paranoid guy. I'm certainly not afraid of Richie or the slob. Let me tell you something, dudes. I can't tell you. I would lose my channel. But you have no idea why I'm not afraid of you. Okay? It's just that simple. Not afraid of you. Never was afraid of you. And I'm never going to be afraid of you. I don't understand what problem you have with that. But I'm telling you, it ain't going to happen. So now, let's cross that out. Anyway, does that ring a bell? That you tried to get somebody to call somebody else a possible pedophile, and they declined the offer to take your word for it, and you went apeshit on them? You're a strange dude. Because you say something, you think it should be taken as law? Dude, nobody believes you. Thank you for setting the message straight, Mr. Fazio. And here we have one of the slob's trolls. How does Fazio is a kidnapper? Proof in videos. Where is there proof of that? Where is there proof of that? A guy who's named Chubby Cox. Give it a break, dude. You and Mike Ross. Yeah, Mike, oh, that's right. That was the guy's name who said... That was the guy's name who said, Mike Ross said that the management of the prawn farm was going to throw me out. And and it was on Barry Jordan's channel. He said, wait till you go to the prawn farm, you're going to get thrown out. And my response was, okay. Okay. So for what am I going to get thrown out for, though? There's no proof at all of me harassing the guests, none. And of course, I made the management ask the waiters and wait staff. I said to the management, I said, have you interviewed the wait staff to see if I've ever caused a problem? She said, we've talked to some people. Which means they talk to people and there was no harassment. You can't make a phone call and have it be a legitimate thing. I made 11 videos for their wonderful business. I'm not going to say, I've never said anything bad about their business. You know what the worst thing I said about their business is? I'll tell you what it was. I don't like fish with raw onions. I don't like fish with raw onions. I don't like raw onions. I like cooked onions. I could take an onion, a big giant Vidalia onion, and slice it up nice and thin, throw it in olive oil or, a good quality oil, and a bulb of garlic, and fry it up. Fry up the onion till it's brown, then throw the garlic in, and have the garlic and the onion all minced up, and put that on top of a steak or a hamburger, a cooked onion. I love cooked onions. But the worst thing I ever said about the prawn farm is that has raw onions in it. I don't like raw onions. And I don't see why people put raw onions in fish dishes. I don't like raw onions in fish. Some people do. I don't. Okay? That was probably the most negative thing I ever said. So while I was doing the buffet, I would say, that has raw onions in it. I don't like raw onions, so I can't tell you what it tastes like. That's it. After that, all the joking and kidding around that we do before I turn the video on and after I shut it off, you have no idea. I made a 13-minute video, which I can't post on YouTube, of my dentist and the staff, 2 dentists in the office, and the staff and I just having fun after work. I can't post it on YouTube, though. There's a reason I can't post it on YouTube. It wouldn't break any rules on YouTube, but certain things that we talked about behind the scenes as friends, I wouldn't post on YouTube. Okay, and they knew I was recording them. I keep the camera right here like this. Or I just won't post. I don't post personal. As soon as somebody mentions something that was personal, the video becomes persona non grata on YouTube. I send them a copy, and I send 5 or 6 of my friends a copy, and that's the only people that'll ever see the video. I didn't say don't say that. They can say whatever they want, but no one will ever see it. So Chubby Cox, who's going to take you seriously? You're a stupid name on a screen on a computer terminal. Mike Ross, same thing. Mike Ross, I didn't get thrown out of the porn farm. They thanked me for making videos. They thanked me for making such positive videos of their establishment, and I'm going to continue to do so. And if you guys make 100 more phone calls and you get me thrown out of the porn farm, who cares? Why would I care? They tell me to get out. I leave. I'll leave. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not going to argue with anybody. It's your restaurant. You do what you want. However, they won't have any more free advertisement. And that's something that they're going to have to look at. And that's what the management looked at. They reviewed my videos, and they said, thank you for giving us such great reviews. That's why I always show the video of the front of the building, how to get there from the main entrance, the menu, and then the buffet. I do this as a courtesy to them, and I do it because I enjoy doing stuff like that. I don't care what you think. It never makes any difference to me what you think. I don't care what you think. I never cared what you think. Thanks, Flying Circus. Yeah, we don't need that guy here. All right, so I want to check my mail. Oh, and by the way, okay, so I have people that I'm friends with. I mentioned that I can't find the parts. Somebody said, one of you morons that don't know anything about equipment. So we'll talk about how smart I am when it comes to heavy equipment. I know how long it takes to fix heavy equipment. I know how to fix heavy equipment. I know if I have the tools to do the heavy equipment or not. But I mentioned last week that the boom, there's 2 boom pistons, they bleed. And they bleed about 2 inches without any weight on the boom. Without the bucket on the boom, without any weight on the boom, they bleed 2 inches every 10 seconds. So that's a lot. That's 12 inches per foot. 12 inches per minute. For me to hook the jet ski up, I'd have to pick the boom up as high as possible, run up the ladder, hook it up, and then run down the ladder, and then get in the machine within 2 minutes. It would be Olympic time, let's put it like that, because I don't think I could do it. Okay, I just don't think I could get up there. I think the boom would settle down and crush the jet ski. So I'm going to do it with somebody else. So somebody listened to that, and I said because I can't buy parts for the machine. Now, you guys say, you can't even buy a rebar bender. I bought the rebar bender and paid for it 5 times. How many more times do you want me to buy it and pay for it? I just bought another 8,000 peso tool. I paid for it. The order didn't go through. Now I got to call the bank to see if they deducted it from my debit card. Lazada sent me a note saying that we don't know why your credit card isn't working. It was working for 200,000 peso orders. Now 8,000 pesos order. It didn't register. Whatever. It doesn't matter. So So I said I can't buy the parts for the machine because I don't know the number to the seal kit. Now, a seal kit, in case you don't know, is it's about well, I'll show it to you. Let me show it to you. Okay, so and then somebody was kind enough to go through the trouble to find a book for the MS-110 machine. However, the problem with that is they built MS-110 machines. See, this is where you people think that you're so smart. You know nothing about heavy equipment. I own heavy equipment my whole life. There's MS-110 machines from 1979 to 1995. But there's an MS-110, there's an MS-110-1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then there's an MS-110 L-1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Then there's an MS-110, and there is an MS-110 1979, 1980, 1981, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's probably 18 or 20 machines that are MS-110, but 18 or 20 variations. Now, probably the book the guy sent me is probably the right gasket seal kit in the book. Now, the reason I can't find the right book is because when I got the machine, somebody painted it, and they grind it off, or it rusted off, the VIN number, okay? Could have been rusted because there was a lot of rust, a lot of body and fender work was in that machine. So maybe it just fell off. Maybe it just rusted out, that part of the machine, because there's a lot of Bondo in that area. So they sent me a book. Now, so could I buy the replacement seal kit? Sure, I could buy the replacement seal kits. Here's what they cost. You guys have any idea what a 7-ounce plastic bag of seals cost? 7 ounces, a 7-ounce bag of plastic and rubber seals, a seal kit for an MS-110. Somebody want to take a guess what a seal kit costs? It's 13 pieces of rubber or hard rubber in one 7-ounce bag. You want to take a guess what they cost? Let me show you something for you geniuses out there like Mike Ross. Here, look at this. You want to see something? I'll show you something. Okay, here we go. This is a Mitsubishi 110. This is a 1979. This is a Mitsubishi 110-5. That's about a 1980. This is a Mitsubishi 110. That one goes back to 1975. This is a Mitsubishi 110. This is about an 81 or an 82. They're all different. You notice the window configuration. See, this one has a square back. This one has a round back that you can't see. This one has an angled back. This one has a door with a window on top only, but not a window on the bottom. This one has a door with a window that's 3/4. This one has a dual window, top and bottom. Next line down. This one has a square back with a square top. This one is a different machine altogether. It has a big open window in it. These are all different years, all different models. This is a Mitsubishi 110-2. This is a Mitsubishi 110-8. This is a Mitsubishi 110, but 1970s model. This is a Mitsubishi 110-8, same one as before. This is a Mitsubishi 110-1 with a completely different body and shape than the one I have, but it's close. So if you open this up, could this be the machine that I'm looking for the parts to? Yes, it could be. Is it? I don't know, because I only see Mitsubishi 110 on my machine. So actually, I'm going to leave this page open. Now, I'd have to look at the window. It really is close, to be honest with you. Mitsubishi, but this is a 1979. Okay, I'd have to. No, it's not the same one because the back here is different. But this is what you got to go through. So I don't have a part number. No, it's a completely different. I'd have to look at this with a. I think that's close. I'm going to check this out. Hold on a minute. But again, this is a 1979. No. It's hard to tell because there's a trap, a door missing. It's close, though. But that's a 79. But maybe the machine I have is a 1979. But let me show you what. So did anybody take a guess at how much the boom piston seal kits cost? His name is what he likes, Chubby Cox. I wouldn't doubt it, being that he's friends with the slob. I wouldn't doubt that there's a lot of interaction between the men on his page. Wouldn't doubt that at all. Okay, this is not what I'm looking for. That's for one seal, $20. Okay, all right. That's not what I'm looking for.
Anyway, this is going to be.
That idiot. Okay, boom kit, cylinder seal kit for the MS-110. Take a guess. Nobody's guessing. I'm going to show you something. You're not going to believe the price to that seal kit. You just won't believe it. No guarantee, no returns. It's $172 for this seal, these seals right here, 12 or 13 seals. Hard to count them. $172 plus $16 for UPS shipping. So that's $187. Let's just say it's $190 per seal kit, and you'd need two of them. And there's no returns. So if I bought them, the seal kit, without having the model number of the machine, they might fit the piston and they might not. But they change the piston rod diameter in these machines. 1 year the piston rod diameter is 3 inches. The next year it's 3 1/4. The next year it's 3 3/8. And the piston seal kit does not give you a diameter of the piston seals. This is the seal kit, the 653-000-12. Let's find out what this one was. It was close to that, but not that. This is the 753-10. Okay, but these are seal kits for Mitsubishi. But which one is it? One's 172, and then this one, which is a seal kit for a Mitsubishi, that's $220. You'd have to buy two of those. This is for a Volvo, $150. So basically, I'd have to spend $500 for these two seal kits. So you people say, you don't know how to change a seal kit. Not only would I have to spend $500, but you people know nothing about owning heavy equipment. I don't have the ability to pick up the cylinder once I unbolt it once I take off the snap rings that hold the piston cylinder and the plunger and the rod, the piston rod, I couldn't even pick that up. Two men could not pick up the piston cylinder and the rod on my machine. Two men couldn't pick it up. Well, it would be hard for two men. The damn thing weighs over 300 pounds. So, you know, it's a lot of weight. So in order to get the piston rod off the machine, let me just give you a little snap dragon lecture on how to get a piston rod off. The first thing you do is you release the hydraulic lines. But you got to have the right seal kit now. And I don't know the model number of the machine because someone took the VIN number off probably 20 years ago. So if I buy a book for the machine is $65, but $75 for shipping. Yeah, I'll show you the book. So I have to buy a book that may or may not fit my machine. So here. So I would have to spend on the book for this. Maybe it would fit my models. Here's the book. It doesn't show the Mitsubishi 110-1. It says the Mitsubishi 110-5. So it could be 1 through 5. It could be, I don't know. And then have the Mitsubishi MS 110L through 5. And then the Mitsubishi 110D-5 and the S-5. The book is $65. Shipping is $72. So that's $140 for a book that may or may not have. It might not be for my machine. I don't know what machine I have. I would have to take the piston apart. Even though there's a piston, even though I Googled Mitsubishi boom piston for an MS-110, it shows you 5 different size pistons. Of course, I have the size that I know what size it is, but there's still no. In other words, I have to spend $650 for 2 seal kits and a book just to stop some bleeding, some bleed out. But if I wanted to do the job myself, could I? I could. One Lonely Farmer West could, but he has a shop. But very few people could do it. Could I do it? Yeah, I could do it. I'd need to have a 10-foot, 2-inch pipe, 10 feet long. I have a 30-inch rigid pipe wrench. I'd need that. I'd need a torch, which I have. I'd have to torch you have to torch the piston plunger and rod to expand it to undo the nut. Then you have to torque the nut back down on the piston rod. I don't have a compressor and a hammer, air hammer, that would put 1,000 pounds of torque on the bolt. Could I do it with a 10-foot pipe wrench and a probably, but I'd have to weld something to the machine to hold the piston rod down. It would be like 4 days to do the first one, 3 days to do the second one if I had the right parts. So don't come on my page and think that you know about heavy equipment. Could I do the job? Yeah. Could I bring it to somebody in the city to do the job for me? No. The hydraulic shops in the city, I have more tools than they do. They are working on a wing and a prayer. And the stuff they can't do, they send out. So to change the seal kit on my pistons, a cheap price would be $1,800. A normal price would be $3,200 to send it out and have it done in Cebu. That's $6,000 to stop a little bleed out. And you people come on and say, you just don't pick the jet ski up when you got bleed out by yourself. You don't do that. You just deal with it. You couldn't run the machine. You can't run up and down the steps to get to the machine before the thing bleeds out and crushes the jet ski. You people know nothing about what you talk about on in the comments section. You know, there is not a single person in the Philippines, I don't give a shit who you are, that has more mechanical knowledge than me. Not one. Not one. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you did for a living. And you certainly don't have the tools to do the job. You'd have to find another jet mechanic. You'd also have to find somebody that was that had tools. You know, you guys could know how to do something. Like, I know how to do it, but I don't have the tools to do it. I have to make the tools to do the job. A lot of people that know how to do the job could do it with the right tools, but the right tools are what? The right tools are vices with 8-inch jaws mounted to a 3/4-inch steel deck, 36-inch high, 3/4-inch steel plate welding table, and 300-pound air compressor with a hammer gun that they take off truck tires with, that will take 350 psi. Now, I have one of those, but I don't have the air pressure for it. And I can't buy a compressor for 350 pounds and hoses and shit like that. It might cost me $4,000 to buy the equipment to change the pistons. You people know nothing. You just run your mouth. Can't do this, can't do that. I could do anything if I had the right tools or the time to do it. In fact, I can do more than any other person in the Philippines with what I have. There is nobody else that could even come close to doing the kind of jobs that I'm capable of. Nobody. I don't care. You want to bet me money? Bet me money. You're going to lose. It's just that simple. I don't give a shit who you are. And anybody that knows me knows they wouldn't bet me. Because there isn't anybody else foreigner in the Philippines that has my skill sets when it comes to heavy equipment and machine knowledge. And if they do, they don't have the tools to fix the equipment. So let's stop the nonsense. But I hear these stories. Why don't I just change the seals? Because I don't have the book that says this is the right seal kit, because I can't get a model number from my machine. And the piston numbers, they don't show up a seal kit for the piston number that's stamped on the machine. I don't know why. If you had the VIN number from the machine, you could get every part if you had the book. But I could buy that book for $150. It might be for a different... I think that book would cover what I need. But it's still a $150 investment for the book, and it's $500 for the seal kit, and I don't have the tools to change the seals, so what's the point? But don't come on my channel and say just change the seals, because you don't know what you're talking about. And Paradoxical Q, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, no, Paradoxical Q watches me, and he knows about construction. He's seen me do stuff that he knows that what we call, well, I'm a jig man, J-I-G. I can fix anything, and if I can't fix it, I can make a way to fix it. I can modify stuff to fix stuff that other people couldn't even begin to comprehend. But in order for me to change that piston, I'd have to build an A-frame over the machine. That would be the first thing I would have to do. Would build an A-frame, set up a chain fall or In my case, I have an electric winch, so that it would be able to hold the weight of the piston and then lower it down, and then two men. Well, I'm not going to build I'm not going to build a 3/4 inch welding table to weld a spike on there. So I'd have to weld a 2.5 inch pin to probably to the track, I guess. Put the piston cylinder yoke on the pin, and then in order to get the piston packing gland nut off the cylinder, you have to take a number 13 bull tip torch, which I have a junkyard torch with a number 13 bull tip, and you have to heat up around the cylinder until the cylinder is cherry red. Okay? We're already talking about burning off the paint and all that other crap. And then inside, to get that packing gland nut off, are the seals that are the seal kit. And they're going to melt, and they're going to crystallize, caramelize. The seals are going to caramelize like sugar. Okay? And then, after that cylinder is cherry red, after you got it heated with the torch, then you're going to put, well, before you get it cherry red, I got to grind off 2 flat spots on the piston packing gland nut, because I don't have a packing gland tool, or make a packing gland tool removal tool. And I need to have number 8 bolts, and then a piece of number 8 steel, and it would take as long to make a packing gland nut as it would to nut wrench, as it would to grind off 2 flat spots on the packing gland nut. So now it's red hot, right? And all the seals are gone. They're all garbage. So if you don't have a seal kit, now you can't put it back together. Then you need that 3-foot, you need a 30-inch minimum Stilson wrench or pipe wrench. And you put that on the packing gland nut. Okay? You're going to have to grind it in 2 places, flat. And then you take 2 or 3 men on the end of a 10-foot pipe. And one guy keeps heating the cylinder, and the other 2 or 3 men are on the 10-foot pipe hanging on it like monkeys. And then you're tapping the cylinder to loosen this up while you're spraying nut buster on it. And that could take 10 or 15 minutes of hitting cherry red cylinder, tapping it with the hammer, and throwing nut buster on it. It could take longer. You could have to get a longer pipe. And then when you get it apart, then you have to clean the plunger, and you have to clean the seals that are on the packing gland nut, because they're all melted and crystallized. Now you have to have, and that'll take you the better part of, to do it with the tools I have at my disposal, the better part of 5 hours to bring the plunger back to where it's clean, because all in the grooves you have to clean the caramelized rubber gaskets out of the grooves. And there are probably there's the chevron seal, there's the O-ring, there's a packing gland nut seal, there's the piston pressure seal. There's like 12 pieces of rubber that are garbage now. And you have to clean the inside of the rings from the cylinder and the outside of the rings. Now you got it. Now you got the packing gland nut off, right? Now what? You got to pull the piston out. Now, on the piston is a nut about that big. Now you got to heat the plunger with that 10-foot wrench to get that bolt off. And that requires several thousand pounds of hammer torque. And then when you get it apart, of course, now you're ready to clean up the plunger, because you're going to take that apart before you clean up the plunger. Clean all the grooves inside and outside, polish it with a wire brush and, a circular brush in and out. You have to polish the piston. You also have to clean out the whole piston, because you're going to have all kinds of debris in there from what you do. And then you could, after you get it all clean, you could start putting it together. But when you put the plunger back on then you have to take the yoke of the piston cylinder off the pin that you welded to the track, and then put the piston rod yoke. The piston rod has to go. You have to take that apart. Not so easy. Not so easy at all with all that pressure. You are in for a world of work. But I would say I could do it if I knew I had the right seal kit and I had 8 days. It would take me 8 days to do what I just said to do, and it would be hard work for 8 or 9 hours a day. So could I do it? Yeah. Could somebody else do it? A few people could do it. Just a few people in the whole world. A few people could do it, because no one would want to do it. They would just pay $3,600 to have both the piston. $1,800 would be a cheap price. $3,200 would be a price that a hydraulic shop will charge you to replace those seals. Each $3,200. So, and then I still have to put it back together. You people, you come on my page, you don't know a damn thing about heavy equipment. Thanks, Paradoxical Q. Let me see if it's still raining. And another thing, this rain. And yesterday, after the video ended, it rained. I played with jacking up the container for another half an hour. I think what I'm going to do, I saw there's a new company. It's not a heavy equipment company. It's not a mechanical engineering company either. It's a company that has a boom truck. A boom truck with a 14,000 pound lifting capacity on the boom. I think I'm going to go talk to the manager of the company and then ask him how much he'll charge me per hour to rent his boom truck. And if he says it's a reasonable price, instead of me trying to jack that container up, I will go out and buy 30 feet of chain, which is going to cost me a lot of money. It's going to cost me 30 feet. I don't know. It's going to cost me well over $100 for the chain, even if I buy it used chain in a junkyard, which is possible to do. But you can buy brand new chain in the store for, let's say, $3 a foot. And when you go to a junkyard, they want $4 a foot for used chain, because they think that you don't know what the price is. So going to a junkyard is not always cheaper. So if I bought, then I could buy 30 feet of chain. Theoretically, I could do it with 20 feet of chain if I hook it to the top. And then I'll have the boom truck pick up the container and put the board underneath there. And then when I'm ready, after I move the house, I'll have him pick the container up and spin it around, rather than to try to do it with the track hoe. But either way, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it with the jack. I'm just not going to get enough lift. Even that 10, 20-ton jack, it's a piece of junk. It's real. I doubt very. I think if you put 20 tons on top of that jack, it would blow apart. I'm only trying to pick up 4 tons, and it's having trouble. You know, it's just a piece of Chinese junk, is what it is. stopped raining. All right, we had rain last night. I got 2 inches of water in my buckets. Wow. Alrighty, I'm going outside to play in the yard. Now that I set the record straight on that frickin' red-headed fairy tale guy, you know what I should add? You know that guy must be going nuts right now because a friend of mine said that he lost both his channels, and that now I don't know if it's true or not, but on one of his channels they said that he had is what he used for video storage. Well, that would be, and that all those videos that were on private that you couldn't see, they're all gone. So if he didn't back all of that stuff up, he lost all of those videos. Now, I don't know or care about that because that doesn't have anything to do with me. Well, it might, but now he has to reload all of that stuff. And he's not allowed back on YouTube, by the way. YouTube has terms of service. When you get thrown off like that for hate speech, you're not allowed back on YouTube. So as soon as he comes back on YouTube, people are going to flag his channel as such. And they'll just look at his IP address, and that'll be the end of that. His phone, IP address. He's not going to come back on YouTube. And if he does, he's going to get flagged again. What do you think? He's going to stop? He's going to come back with a vengeance. He's got to get even with everybody, right? Everybody, all the bad people out there in the world. He has to be the policeman, the YouTube policeman. And he always says that. I don't want to be a YouTube policeman, but I have to do it because somebody has to do it. No, nobody has to do it. You just have to mind your own business, and your world would be a better place. Flying circus. Chubby Cox has a name. His name is what he likes. Probably. You know, you don't know. I've seen the slob kiss a ladyboy on the lips that served him a drink. Now, whether the slob was drunk and knew it was a ladyboy or didn't know it was a ladyboy, still kissed the ladyboy on the lips. It was a ladyboy. And I don't know that the slob goes both ways, but I would think that he gets drunk enough where for that night it wouldn't matter. And only because I lived with a guy in the first apartment I got in Alona Beach. He was a school teacher. He was a nice enough guy. He's the guy who found me my apartment. I met him in a restaurant that I was having dinner with on the beach. And he was alone and I was alone, and I don't know how we started talking, but we did. And I asked him if there was any apartments, and he said, yeah, we have an apartment where I live. So he took me right there after dinner. And we went there, and I had the money. The next day, I went to the bank and got the money to pay for the deposit. And he was a school teacher. He had like 3,000 students on his Facebook page. He was really an ex-school teacher. And this guy, oh my God, he got drunk like you wouldn't believe. And he smoked cigarettes like you wouldn't believe, one right after the other. And what we would do is we would play gin rummy in the morning sometimes after I took my swim. There was another guy in the building. We would go swimming for an hour, and then we'd all play cards. No money, just play cards. But this guy would get so drunk that after not a long time, sometimes I'd go downstairs like at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, and he'd have a ladyboy with him in the outside area where we played cards. And I would say, what's up with that? And he goes, oh, he's just a friend of mine. He slept over. And I'm looking around. I'm going, there's only one bed here. Yeah, he sleeps in the same bed. So I said to the guy, do you have relationships with the ladyboy? He goes, I don't know. I get pretty drunk. That was his answer. So I don't know if the guy did or didn't. But he got too drunk to remember. That's what he said. So, when you get that drunk, I don't know. The slob gets that drunk, though. You know the slob gets freaking hammered out of his brain. You might not see it, but when he starts losing his mind and screaming in the street, that is borderline blacking out. Although he's awake, you could be awake and do that, but not remember what you did the next day. So the slob having relationships with ladyboys, definitely on the table. Definitely on the table. There's no doubt about that. He doesn't care that he goes with street walking ladies of the night. Why would he care if it was a ladyboy? If long as maybe he likes certain things that only the ladyboy can provide. I don't know. But I do know that I'd bet big money that the slob being with a ladyboy has happened, and he might say I don't remember, or I was drunk and make an excuse. I don't know, but I would not bet against it for sure, because that's how drunk he gets, and he's a degenerate from the word go to begin with. All his life is in Thailand is about being with degenerate street walking prostitutes. I mean, let's call a spade a spade. It's what he does. It's what he vlogs about. That's why he's famous. That's why he calls himself the slob. So, I don't know. I wouldn't say he did. I can't bet that he did, but I wouldn't bet against it. All right, so I'm done. And I'm done. Oh, yeah. I'm done talking. Thanks for stopping by, everybody. I'm Pink Permy from the Philippines, baby. You know that I am Mr. Congeniality because I'm the nicest guy I know. Oh, yeah. Talking about that guy who got his channel taken. He must be climbing the walls right now, making notes. And that's another, he's always complaining about people that take notes, and yet he tells you he has several thumb drives full of videos and things that people said. Isn't that notes? So it's okay for him, but it's not okay for anybody else. He called the police that someone supposedly spread information in his community, and yet he does that himself. He did that to Barry Jordan. He did that to Barry Jordan's girlfriend. He showed her children. I think he told everybody where Barry Jordan was going to move to, the house he was going to move to, and that you should go give him a nice housewarming present by throwing something at his house. Housewarming, get it? Housewarming. He made the insinuation. He also insinuated that he was going to cut off Barry's family jewels and cut his tongue out. Come on, dude, get with the program. And then he calls that an off-color comment. That's not off-color, dude. That's a death threat. And that's why your channels got taken down. So now he can't rebuttal, he can't talk, he can't make a video, and he'll come on and say, it was a social experiment, and I'm winning because I got my channels taken down. And just to show you I don't care, I'm going to do it again. Whatever that means. All right, I'm Pink Permy from the... Oh, yeah. Christmas. Let me flip a coin. I got a coin right here. Tell you what I'm going to do. Where's those coins? I'm going to flip this coin in my hand. Heads. I'm going to give you the name of the girl. It's tails. No, you're not going to get the name. It's tails, right? Oh, yeah, it's tails. I was going to give you the name of of somebody, but now I can't. I was about to give you somebody's name and her job description and where she works, and that I gotta go talk to her anyway this week when I go in for lunch. I think I might have lunch with her this week. She's probably not gonna want to be on YouTube because she knows of all you people on YouTube. So you guys do have an influence on people. So anyway, there's a girl I know that I may spend time with. Okay, but she doesn't really want to be on YouTube. And I told her, unless she wants to be on YouTube, then I don't want to spend any time with her. And she says she can swim. I took my goggles and I got an extra mask out for her. So, but she doesn't want to be on YouTube. And I said, nah, that doesn't work for me. I do YouTube. So, it might happen and it might not happen. But there is, and she doesn't really care what you people say. She just knows how you are. Kind of like Barry's girlfriend, Dimple. She knows what garbage you people are, how you disseminate falsehoods and truths and mistruths. Yeah, so if it would have been heads, I would have probably gave you more information, but it was tails. The universe just doesn't want you to know this information yet. Sorry. I'll let you know when the universe changes its mind. I'm Big Permy from the Philippines, baby. Big Permy means take care always. From Michael FAZIO in the Philippines, baby. Bye-bye for now.